enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text LION to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text LION to 321321. That's LION to 321321.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap. It is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
So,
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you. You bing, ba-da-bum. Yeah, come on. Boom. All right, hold on. I'm going to let you do it yourself. Go ahead. Well, hold on.
Oh, were you going to do
that? No, go ahead. You do it.
Hey.
No drum solo?
No, I was trying to establish just a clear line so that you could come in and do the percussion. I was just doing the melody.
Gotcha.
Part of it, and I thought you were, yeah. So I'll just go, okay. Bum, ba-dum, bum.
Bum,
ba-dum, bum.
Nice.
Bum, ba-dum, bum.
Mike Trudell is
right.
in the house.
Yeah.
Mike Trudell in for Sedano. But, Mike, as I look across at you.
Yes.
And I know tonight, you're going to go over and do the broadcast of the Lakers and the Heat later on.
That's right.
I look over at you. I see Mike Trudell. You're a good-looking guy.
Thanks, Cappy.
You don't look old to me, like Michael Cooper told you the other night.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
You know,
he did say that. He started out his press conference by saying that I look a little older than what he had remembered. In fairness, it was like 17 years ago when I met Cooper, and I have aged considerably since then. But yeah,
I'm looking at you.
It hurt a little bit.
I see you. You're looking good, man. You got those purple headphones on. Your Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to get to those.
Why would you start the show to put me in a bad mood?
Purple is Vikings to me.
Oh,
my
goodness. Well, as you know, that game was on during the Laker game. In fact, it started at 5:15, which was right when Michael Cooper called me old. So, and that was just about the time that the Rams scored their first touchdown. Mm-hmm. So not a great couple of minutes for me. I will say that being told that you look older, that it doesn't bother me that much. Like, we're all aging. I feel like the older I get, the more of my kids' lives I get to see. That's fine. I look good enough still for my wife. Like, it's fine. I'm presentable. Nobody really sees me on TV and is like, oh, you look X or Y. They may say I like your tie. Basically, it's irrelevant. But
quick question.
But the Vikings getting their ass kicked was not great.
Just a quick question though. You said I look good enough for my wife. Mm-hmm. So if you were single, hypothetically, you would have to get yourself looking better than you currently look?
Well, I look as good as I'm going to, because I'm not going to do stuff to my face. I'm not going to color my hair.
I color my hair.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about me.
There's nothing wrong with it.
We can get into
it's
you
okay.
later.
It's all right.
Later. I'm just saying. I'm too frugal to do it. Now you claim to be frugal or cheap.
Can I talk? It's my show.
And yet, you spend how much money to color your hair?
I have a girl.
It has to be expensive.
I have a relationship with her. I pay her
What kind of
cash.
relationship?
With the kind that I pay her cash and she takes good care of me.
Greg, did you hear the way he said I have a relationship with her?
I do.
I did.
Go ahead. I do. I have a relationship with the girl who cuts my hair.
Okay.
And as a result, when you pay her cash and you've been going to her for a long time, she finds a way to make it very inexpensive.
Okay. So
See what I'm
it's
saying?
been discounted.
And paying cash, I mean, this is where he's going with it.
Yeah,
you know where he's going.
Pay cash. It's a little under the table, you know?
Okay.
So what I'm getting at is...
I'm not begrudging you that.
Here, let me just say this. If my girlfriend, who I've been together with, we're going on 6 years in March, if she were to break up with me, I would have to, at that point, look in the mirror and go, okay, you know what? I know I'm carrying around an extra 20, 25 pounds. She seems okay with it.
Okay.
But if I were single, I got to drop these pounds. So what you just said, I look good enough for my wife.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the pounds. So I weigh about the same as I did when Cooper first saw me back when I looked young.
When you were young.
Yeah. So my weight is about the same. Like, I'm in pretty good shape. I work out a lot. Like, that part is, my metabolism is still decent. So that part's okay. But maybe if I let myself get out of shape in that way, then you're trying to compensate, you're saying, by having the face look a little better. Maybe you have the hair color, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like last night, I got off the show, and I got done, and I went across the street. You know, I live across the street, literally across the street at the East Central Hotel. Yeah. And I was walking on the treadmill. This is about 8 o'clock last night. I'm about to walk for about an hour, just to walk off dinner, think about a few things. I always try and call my kids. I try and spend 5 minutes every night at least on the phone with my kids who are all away. So just to catch up, how was your day, what's going on? And last night, I'm walking, and I'm feeling my belly on the treadmill. And it's the first time I felt myself in a long time, you know? And
Hold that, please.
First time you felt yourself in a long time.
Right. Like, I don't usually just walk around feeling my belly. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, how fat have you gotten?
Okay.
You know? And so now I'm into 2-a-day workouts.
Did you start running at that point instead of walking?
That is a very good question. And that would be a really good idea. Answer negative. Okay. No, but I'm going to. I don't know when, but I'm going to. All right. I'm starting to think now about what I can do for fire victims and raising money for the Red Cross.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm already starting to look at some 10Ks and some half marathons, and maybe that would finally motivate me, you know?
Well, do you lift at all?
I lift a few times a week.
Well, so there you go. So then you get if you get the heart rate up, I feel like that could be just as important as then you could still walk and not worry about the cardio, and because running can be really hard on the knees and stuff. But if you're getting that heart rate up by lifting a little heavier, then maybe the metabolism will help.
Are you doing the F45?
I started doing F45.
Good for you.
Do you know what F45 is?
Is it one of those the programs?
It's like a group workout.
Okay.
45 minutes, no phone, no thinking. Exercises are on the monitor. The coach walks around the room and helps you out. And in 45 minutes, you walk out soaked.
Okay.
And you've worked every body part.
Fitness?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. Do you like being able to clear your mind and focus on something like that? Because I would prefer when I'm working out, I like to either be listening to a podcast or listening to music but that's a 90 to 10 thing. 'Cause I feel like then I'm still being productive and I can get the workout in at the same time.
My problem is when I go to the gym, I get done with a set, then I look at my phone. Then I go back to and I do a little bit more, and then I go back to my phone. So it's like workout phone. At F45, all I do is I walk in, I stretch out, they explain the workout for the day. I don't have to do any thinking of any kind.
Yeah.
And if I don't know what the exercise is or I can't remember which direction to go, the screens all tell me what to do. And I'm telling you in 45 minutes, arms, shoulders, chest, abs, glutes, quads, hammies, the whole deal, man. Get the whole body.
And are you feeling yourself during that?
At that point, I am feeling myself. And by the way, I'm feeling a lot of pain because my doctor told me, he goes, don't do that every day. I said, why not? I do it 7 days a week. What's the big deal? Sometimes I do it twice a day. You're going to get hurt. That's what he told me, because you're going to get hurt. And
you literally have done it 7 days in a row before?
No, I did it 6 days in a row.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I mean, you don't want to do 7 days in a row.
Now, wait a second. Mike Trudell is in. And as I look at Mike Trudell, this was my point. Here's Mike. I'm looking straight at Mike. Those of you who are watching on YouTube. I look to my right where I would normally see DeAndre. DeAndre's not here tonight because he's filling in tonight during the Laker game broadcast. So Brian Cohen,
that's right, baby.
Recently married Brian Cohen.
That's right.
Yo, you need Real Father's Rights yet?
I'm all right. I'm
all
right.
You sure?
Right
2 weeks in?
Good.
You don't need Real Father's Rights
Not yet?
Mark Real Father's Rights.
Cappy, why are you already bringing that into?
Just want the kid to be prepared. Should he need it? That's all.
Don't you think he thought at some point during the relationship? Don't you think he thought about that before he proposed?
I do.
Maybe I'll have to get divorced one day.
Well, I asked him. I said, "Get out your phone and let me give you this phone number." And I put in the phone number in his phone for Mark Real and Real Father's Rights. I said, "Let's get real with Real Father's Rights." And then you got my man Bergie over here because Lindsay's like, Cap, I'm not talking to you anymore. I think that's what happened. Is that what happened?
She's going through some stuff.
It's not me.
No, not you.
Okay.
Not Sedano also, who's on the line.
Wait, Sedano's on the line?
Yeah, we got Sedano.
Sedano. Hi, Georgie.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
What's the temperature?
Negative.
Man, it's so cold in this place you used to live in and you grew up in. It was -8 yesterday or the day before.
Yep.
It's warmed up today, Michael. It's 13 degrees. Actually, you know what? It's warmed up to 24 now. It looks like
you won't even wear your shirt in 24 degrees.
Yeah, when we were there with the last Laker game, it was 0 on the dot, and I went to my old high school, and kids were out playing at recess, like the elementary school kids across the street.
No way.
Yeah, they make them tougher out there, George.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, I'm not tough. I admit that. I mean, I am not tough at all. I thought it was cold in L.A. last night.
It actually was a little cold.
So I forgot a tie. I think I told you that the other day. So I went and I had to go to a place that wasn't connected to the sky bridges.
Uh-oh.
So I went in an Uber, and then when I walked out, I'm like, it's not so bad. Like, I could do this. And it was only like 8 blocks. And about halfway through, I said, I've made a huge mistake.
I'm sorry.
Because the wind started to kick up, and it was brutal.
And you were walking outside in that weather?
Yeah, I went outside because this place I needed to get a tie. The only place close by that I could get a tie was not connected to the sky bridge.
Oh, yeah, it's the first kind of 30 seconds to a minute, everybody can be kind of tough. Unless you're like the Cappy's daughter's age and you're going to the club and you're drunk, like then you can that's what in the winter right there, girls can handle it that way, guys, when you're that age.
Yeah.
But if you have to have several drinks by that point to handle that, you can't just do what you did today, George.
George, what happens if you don't wear a tie on the broadcast? I mean, you rock the turtleneck at times. I mean, can't you go a little more casual look?
No, turtleneck is permissible. I basically, helped kind of create that model. But, got to have a tie if you're going to have a collared shirt.
You helped create the model of the turtleneck.
I did. At least at ESPN, I feel like I helped create that. Maybe someone else did it before me. But I definitely feel like I made that a thing.
Okay.
In the interim, Cappy, what are you guys talking about today?
Well, we just got on the air, and we were just about to start to talk about Mike's Minnesota Vikings getting ham-slammed by the Rams, but then he made a comment along the way, which was that he looks good enough for his wife as he is, and that called a timeout, and that just took the whole conversation in a different direction.
And then Cappy said, I don't know if we've clipped it yet, but he said something about feeling himself.
Right, I was talking about feeling my fat belly last night. Like I felt myself in a long time. Yeah, that's right.
So he said that, George.
I think Michael's handsome, man. Michael's in great shape. It's better shape than you, Cappy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I admit it. I'm not in great shape right now. But like I said, I got a 10K I got planned on Super Bowl Sunday. I got a half marathon I've got planned in Las Vegas in February for the Rock and Roll half, and I haven't started running yet.
What kind of shape were you in when you were 43? Because I feel like it's got to be a little harder when you get, a couple
I was in the best shape of my life at 43.
Yeah, so I'm not bragging.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I'll come. Let me come flex my muscles in a couple more years.
Yeah, just a couple more. That's a couple more.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
George, hold on one second. I want more of you. Hold on. Stand by for 1 second. Let me just remind everybody about Real Father's Rights, because now, Brian Cohen, I'm going to give you the phone number. 323-970-1611. I see you writing it down. Thank you. 323-970-1611. RealFathersRights.com/710. Guys, look, I hope everybody has a wonderful marriage. I hope you're married the rest of your life. I know when I said I do, that was my game plan. Just didn't quite work out that way. And let me tell you, it turned into a big old mess. And guys, I will tell you this from my own experience, that more often than not, the family court system favors the ladies' side rather than the guys' side. Sorry about that, ladies. That's just the reality of the situation. So, guys, you need that justice that you deserve. You need that happiness that you deserve. And Mark Real and Real Father's Rights can help you. 323-970-1611. RealFathersRights.com/710. More with Sedano in Minnesota and more with Trudell in studio. This is Sedano and Kap.
whether you need a big stop late in the game.
Edwards downloaded DiVincenzo, blocked by Davis again. Another block for Anthony Davis. Here's Reeves, lay it up and in.
A 3-ball from downtown.
Davis for 3, good! Anthony Davis!
Or a power slam in the paint.
LeBron down the middle, alley-oop! AD for the dunk!
AD is doing it all this season.
We're going to empower him as much as he wants to be empowered. If he wants to be first team All-NBA and he wants to be in the MVP conversation all year long, we're going to empower him to do that.
You know, for me, I'm just trying to be aggressive and do what I have to do to help the team win. You know, Jay want me to be the hub, and, you know, but my job remains the same, to come out and be aggressive and let the team feed off of that.
LeBron's got it. Full head of steam. LeBron to AD. Slam dunk.
Catch every thrill from AD in the Lake Show this season.
Right here on 710 ESPN.
Next Gen is the official plumbing, heating, and AC company of SoCal sports fans. Right now, ESPN LA listeners can book a drain cleaning for just $88. That's right, just $88, and you can keep your plumbing in top shape and ensure you're game day ready. So don't miss out. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN today to take advantage of this limited time offer. That's 833-3-NEXGEN or visit nextgenaironplumbing.com to schedule your $88 drain cleaning appointment today.
NEXGEN, call 833-3-NEXTGEN.
Defining a new era in men's health. Get stronger and healthier by putting your health back in order at Game Day Men's Health. With over 20 clinics throughout the greater LA area, we offer services like testosterone optimization, erectile dysfunction and enhancement, weight loss, vitamin therapy in spaces designed for men, privacy, comfort, flat screen TVs, and zero fluff. Our in-house laboratory nails down your testosterone levels in 15 minutes. Visit GameDayMen'sLA.com to lock in your complimentary test and consultation. Start living your best. Game Day Men's Health.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
I might swerve in that corner, whoa. Hold on tight, cause I tweaking this.
All right, let's see when you get back, because we got Sedano on the line too. So hey, Beto's just walked into the studio. It's Sedano and Kap on a Wednesday afternoon, getting ready for Lakers Heat tonight. Mike Trudell is in for Sedano. Brian Cohen is running this operation in for DeAndre.
Brian coming with that LiAngelo that's taking over the NBA and apparently the entire world. I've heard this song like 1,000 times in the last 2 weeks.
You got Bergie in for baseball, and Sedano is on the line in Minnesota. By the way, it's funny you say this. Turn this up for 1 second. What a great state.
Yeah.
You say you've heard this like 1,000 times?
1,000 times.
This is the second time I've heard it.
So
you have it on loop? Like you're just playing it for your workout playlist?
No. So when it first came out, in NBA players were obviously kind of the first to it, right? And then the arenas picked up on that. So you're just watching League Pass. Like every time, I feel like every time a different arena would go to commercial, because I'm flipping around games, that this song Tweaking would come on. And then Michael Leaves asked, I think it was Darius Garland about it after the Cavs.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah. Oh, did you ask Lillard about it? And then Garland was.
George.
Yeah, George. But Garland was talking about it too, because somebody else asked him. Maybe it was the Cavs silent report or something. I'm not exactly sure. But that's my point. It was just popping up everywhere, and that was before the Def Jam thing. So it's a real thing.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Georgie boy, what's good there in Minneapolis?
Cappy, I think the thing in Minneapolis everyone's talking about today, from a sports perspective, are two things. Anthony Edwards and him kind of giving an official the finger during the game, and just kind of, hey, he's young. It's like two sides to that story, right? Oh, he's young, he's emotional, he's upset, whatever. And then the other side of, well, if he wants to grow into a leader, he's going to have to kind of understand that you can't be doing that stuff. And then the other conversation is, are the Warriors toast? Like is this it? Like, is it over now? Like, because Steph is dealing with a lingering knee tendonitis issue, and like, is this thing over? Like, over now. So, like, those are the conversations people are having here. That's what the streets are saying, Cappy.
Really? I'm surprised that the streets aren't still recovering from the way the Rams beat down on the Vikings.
I mean, Jordan, what are you talking? I don't know, from my various Minnesota text threads, all we're doing is just still complaining about, well, half of them are complaining about the officials and, it was intentional grounding, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, guys, we got our ass kicked. He got sacked 9 times.
Right.
Darnold, anytime you showed any kind of pressure to him in the last couple of weeks, he basically reverted back to the Sam Darnold before he had this nice run with us. So we're all into that negativity mode, and I imagine the city is still there. But yeah, the Edwards stuff is interesting as well, for sure.
Yeah, the Edwards stuff's getting a lot of play, but of course the Vikings are getting play. Like, I thought Cappy was asking me from an NBA perspective because we were talking about LiAngelo. But yeah, of course they're pissed off about the Vikings. Yeah. Even though Mike Trudell, if you go on his social media, on his Instagram, he told everybody, he posted this fun little, Instagram reel of like the Minnesota mom saying, "Oh yeah, honey, your dad's all excited, but
George,
don't get your hopes up."
I think we have that.
So like,
here, let's hear it.
Hold on. Let me contextualize it, because this clip started to go around before we played the Lions, and that was the game where obviously whoever won was going to be the number 1 seed, and everyone's like, "Oh, how excited are you?" And I'm like, "Well, this is how."
Oh, hi, sweetheart. How are you doing? Oh yeah, of course we are. Of course we are. Your dad wouldn't miss it. Oh, I know. They aren't. They're having a strong year for sure. I just have to warn you, honey, just be cautious about that, okay? I know you're excited, and I know your kids are probably excited, but you're going to want to teach them a bit of caution with that, is all I'm saying. They weren't there for 98. You were too young to really
Gary
remember.
Anderson.
Okay, you were there, but you do not remember the heartbreak that your dad went through. Okay, the man barely shed a tear at his own grandpa's funeral, but when it came to that game, inconsolable.
It's funny you mentioned Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson was one of my favorite guys when I was in college. He was the kicker for the Steelers, and I was over at Pitt, and, we didn't have the facilities that they do now. And so I would go down to Three Rivers Stadium, and I would work out with Gary Anderson. And he's this little guy, skinny, short, had that single bar helmet, but that guy never, ever missed.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Until one time.
Yeah, he did.
Right. George, Gary Anderson went like 38 for 38 on field goals that year.
I remember watching that game. I was in I want to say it was like a freshman in college when that game happened. Like, it was
1998.
Yeah.
And I want to say, you'll have to check me on this, but I think the following year, at this point, I'm living in New York City, and the Giants, this is the Michael Strahan Giants, Kerry Collins New York Giants. The Giants are hosting the Vikings in, I want to say, the NFC Championship game. Denny Green's the coach of the Vikings. This is Chris Carter. I want to say Dante Culpepper. I believe early days of Randy Moss. And that day, the Giants beat down on the Vikings, and the Giants wound up going to the Super Bowl, which I want to say was in Tampa that year against the Ravens. So, I mean, I've been around a couple of those Vikings heartbreakers because I was there on the field at that Giants-Vikings game.
And, here's the thing, and now that, especially since Cappy's close personal friends with Gary Anderson, it does suck that you just find the one scapegoat. Plenty of other stuff happened in that game where we should have been in a better position. Yeah. Like, it's like, I think about Steve Bartman, right? And, that's the only thing we remember.
Norwood. Don't go that far. Scott Norwood against the Bills and the Giants.
Yeah, Norwood the kicker, but I was trying to, bring in another sport, though, right? Like, Steve Bartman, of course, the Chicago Cubs. Just one guy takes the heat for everybody else screwing up. The coach probably made some bad decisions. There were a couple of interceptions dropped, right? That just the defense wasn't as good as it usually was. So that I do feel, but that's what comes out when you say Vikings 98. That is what comes out.
But you say Gary Anderson. I'll tell you another friend of mine is a kid who lives here in Southern California. A guy named Blair Walsh. Blair Walsh was a guy.
Another kicker. Yeah,
Seattle.
He missed a 20. No, the game was in Minnesota at the University of Minnesota football stadium.
That's right.
Because the what was the name of the dome? The Metrodome.
The Metrodome
was closed down.
Yeah, they were
and so the
building US
Vikings
Bank.
moved over to play where the Golden Gophers played. And Blair Walsh, who was a great kicker, missed a 27-yard field goal to win the game. Seattle won. Seattle went to the Super Bowl, and as I recall, they won the Super Bowl, that first Russell Wilson Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
So I've been around these Vikings heartbreaks. It's not as emotional for me as it is for you.
You know, always good, never great. And even the times that we've been great, something bad has happened. So it does play into that sort of an overall negativity. And what it colored for me is when I got out here. So I came from the Timberwolves in 2008, and I come in the Lakers. They had just lost to the Celtics. And I'm coming in as an outsider being like, your team is ridiculously good. You're going to win the title. And some of the people around the Lakers were like, no. No, we're not. We're going to lose. You didn't see what happened last year? And I'm like, hold on. This is the Lakers. You can't be negative in Los Angeles. You have the Dodgers. You have the Lakers. You've won. The Kings. Like, everybody has won. Except for, like does the Angels really count? And even they've won. And that's Orange County. Mm-hmm. So that was a long time ago. Negative. You can do that in Minnesota when you haven't won since 1991, the Minnesota Twins. Here, come on. They got a lot of good teams.
They call it Vikinging. See, everybody gets on me because I talk about chargering. Here's the Chargers. They go on the road at Houston. They're the favorites. They've won 11 games. They're much better coached. The guys stayed healthy during the year. But when they lose the game and your quarterback, who's making $60 million a year, throws 4 interceptions, that's called chargering. I try to explain this to Vikings fans, too. It's called Vikinging.
That's fair. That actually, the Chargers do sort of play into our destructiveness like that. George, do you have a team that you followed? I mean, you can't say that about the Hurricanes.
The Dolphins have. I don't follow them as closely anymore, but when I was growing up, I grew up. I remember I was like 6 years old when Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl and lost to Joe Montana, and it was like his first real season of playing, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be in the Super Bowl every year, and then he never got back. He had all sorts of heartbreak. They never built a good defense around him or a running game, and he was throwing for 4,000 and 5,000 yards at a time where that was not the norm by any stretch of the imagination. It was probably that team that broke my heart so many times.
Yeah.
So I remember as an adult in Dan Marino's last game, he played against the Jacksonville Jaguars in a playoff game in the second round. They lost 62-7.
It was so
bad. Dan Marino was 37, 38 years old, and he's throwing pick sixes, and he's just a shell of himself. And I remember being drunk by the end of the first quarter because it was already 21-0 or 28-0. And I was just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's over.
If you remember, George.
Basically, my fandom died that day.
Yeah, if you remember, though, Marino, there was talk that he still wanted to play. And if you remember, in Minnesota, they were saying Marino's going to go to Minnesota because I think Minnesota had just ended the Warren Moon era. I mean, I'd have to really go back and check the exact chronology.
No. Maybe Randall Cunningham? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, in 1998?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cunningham.
Yeah. Okay, Cunningham.
Yeah,
so, but there was all this
Marino
talk.
was 99 was the last year.
Yeah. There was talk that Marino was going to go to Minnesota.
And then Dante Culpepper a couple years after that took over.
Well, because Chris Carter wanted him to come there. That's what it was. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, that was a squad, man. Randy Moss just going deep, and just I've never seen anything like it before. And here we are.
Shout out to Randy Moss, man. I hope he's okay. I hope he gets better.
Yeah. Hey, George, stay right where you are. Give me 1 second here to mention to everybody.
Okay.
Hey, look, if right now you are thinking about selling your home, and I don't want to be insensitive in the slightest bit, but I want to just give everybody a heads up. There's going to be a lot of people looking right now. I mean, I know it sounds, like not great, but that's just the unfortunate reality of what has happened here in LA over the course of the last, week and change. If you are looking to sell your home for whatever reason, maybe your mom and dad left it to you and you don't want to live in it and you don't want to pay the property taxes. Maybe you're ready to move out of the state because you're looking for another state where it's more tax friendly for you. For whatever reason, maybe you're ready to downsize because your kids are all out of the house. Whatever your reason for selling, Seller's Advantage has got a custom solution for your needs. And here's what they do for you. They make you a competitive cash offer. That means you don't have to make any repairs. You don't have to clean the carpets. You don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to have open houses with people walking through your house. The contracts aren't falling through. There's no complicated closing process. When they make you a competitive cash offer, you're going to like that offer, and they're going to make this happen so fast. They'll even give you $10,000 to move out so we can hustle this thing up. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and you can visit them online at sellersadvantage.com. More with Sedano and Trudell on Sedano and Kap here on 710.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
No, I got to get one of those LAFD hats. Because I don't have a Rams hat, and I'm going to buy one of those.
I would be honored to get your first Rams hat.
Yeah, but I want to buy it to support LAFD. So,
Okay.
Buy two. I'm a 7 5/8.
You know what?
What?
7 5/8.
It's a running thing that Travis is cheap,
Yeah.
or that Chris believes that Travis is
So does that make your head bigger than mine? Because I'm
What's yours?
7.5.
No, I'm an 1/8 inch larger than you.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, jeez.
Only by
And he's back.
So,
Well,
DeMarco, let me ask you
wait,
this.
Travis is cheap, so he's trying to get
I'm not
a free
cheap.
hat?
Chris makes vicious allegations about me being cheap. I would
Why did you
aggressively
stop
disagree.
when he said he wanted a hat too? Why did you stop?
Well, he's cheap.
Okay.
He squeezes the quarter
Until
till the Eagles
I
squeeze.
got you. Okay.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco.
on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting it.
With the devastating fires that have struck Southern California, there are options for you if you're dealing with food insecurity. It is the LA Regional Food Bank. You can go to lafoodbank.org/fire. We are also looking for collections from you. All kinds of stuff needed for people that are dealing with the fire right now. Please join us in helping our friends and neighbors who are dealing with this tragedy.
Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit activecollisionrepair.com.
Harry Douglas here for Technique's new noise-canceling True Wireless AZ80 earbuds. Techniques has been revolutionizing the audio game for almost 60 years. With multi-point connection of up to 3 devices at the same time, the AZ80s let you go from leading a meeting to listening to a podcast to taking a call seamlessly. Visit us.techniques.com/sports to shop for AZ80s now. That's us.technics.com/sports.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Wow, that's very kind of you to come back with some tribe for me.
Well, we know you like it.
Cappy, this is going to be a good segment for me.
You like it?
That's
I know
kind
you're
of my top
big
5.
fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sedano is in Minnesota. Mike Trudell is in studio here in LA Live and getting ready to go across the street for Lakers Heat. Coming up a little bit later on tonight. We'll have the game for you on the radio. Beto is standing by. He's going to jump in as well. Beto's got all the pregame, the halftime, the postgame action for you tonight. Hey, George, before we get back into it, I got to tell you guys a quick story. So I said this yesterday on the air.
Make it quick because I got to leave in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can.
Can I talk?
I
Do I really need?
I can do it.
Do I really need to know the story?
You do need to know the story. This story is critical.
Okay.
This story is really
Okay,
important.
go ahead.
So I said this yesterday. You know, when I pull into downtown LA, and I was gone. I'd been gone for a week. You know, I expected to see remnants of the fire. You know, whether it was smoke in the air or lack of air quality. But in downtown LA, you don't even know what's going on. Okay. But here's what happened. Last night, I get off the air, George, and I take Morales for a walk. I got to walk him like a dog, you know? I take Morales downstairs to Lazy Dog, which is one of the restaurants down in LA Live, right?
Who's who's helping out the people who need help at the moment? Yes, I saw that.
So here's the deal. I walk in, and it's packed. And LA Live is dead because there's no hockey game. There's no basketball game. The place is a ghost town. But Lazy Dog is packed. And there are all these people wearing, their T-shirts. And so I start chatting with these three guys. They were all firefighters from New Mexico. And every table in the place...
Staying at the JW.
Right. So every table in the place is packed with firefighters. And they put the tables together. There's 12 people sitting at a table. And these guys are all bros from Northern California or Arizona or New Mexico or Nevada, anywhere that they came in from. So they're staying in the hotels down here at LA Live. And I got to send a shout out to the people at Lazy Dog. They got all these firefighters in there, and they're all eating for free.
As well they should. That's
absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
They're not taking a dollar out of their pocket. And even the employees were like, no tipping, don't pay, just come in. And I was talking to the employees afterwards, and they were saying, this is our way of helping. We're feeding these guys, and they need, their nourishment, because what they were doing is these guys are staying in the hotel, 12-hour shifts. They get done. They put on all their gear right here in downtown LA. They walk around the corner where they've got fire trucks lined up, and then they drop off firefighters, and then they put firefighters on the trucks, and then they drive them 90 minutes out to these front lines. So I'm going to send a shout out to our friends at Lazy Dog downstairs here at LA Live. First of all, you guys got great food. I eat there a lot. But what you guys are doing for these firefighters, outstanding. Just really, you guys should be congratulated. Way to go, Lazy Dog. Very, very good.
Love to see it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Well,
thank you.
It sounds like George.
2 minutes for that story,
George.
George.
About to leave us. I was hoping George would be here when the Heat were in town, because I wanted him to go find out what the hell is going to actually happen with Jimmy Butler. George, do you want to tell us in 30 seconds what's going to happen with Jimmy?
I've got a little more than that. And Cappy, I am very proud of you that you did that story in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
I don't feel like you can do anything in 2 minutes, to be honest with you.
There's one thing I can do it really quickly, George. Under 2 minutes. I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Yeah, I figured. Maybe we could ask Rachel. But to answer your question, Trudell, if I had to guess, he's not going anywhere because they don't have a good deal. The only team that's willing to offer fair value is the Phoenix Suns, and the Miami Heat don't want Bradley Beal because they're basically waiting for 2026 to really make a splash in free agency again, because I think free agency is going to become in vogue again in the NBA, because I think the league and teams are tired of these guys asking out with years left on their deal. So
he's going to play. He's going to play next game.
That if there's one team that's willing to be comfortable in the uncomfortableness, it's them.
Yeah, but he's got to play, right? I mean, you can't just have him sit for the whole rest of the year.
He doesn't have to play. I mean, ideally, it would be smart. It would behoove him to play.
I hate guys.
I don't know how you could possibly play with the guy. I mean, listen, I'm not sure I understand every dynamic of Jimmy Butler in that Miami locker room, but I mean, now you've decided
you could tell by the way the guys have reacted in the last couple of games while they've been on the road. They basically said how great the vibes are and how everybody's getting along and everybody's pulling in the same direction. And like, those words are choice words when you hear it from your teammates. And by the way, he's not some guy who's been beloved. He's kind of a mercenary. And the one thing that's been in common with him his whole career, my man wants his money. Miami actually paid him, whereas Minnesota didn't.
Yeah, he's getting about $500K per game or something like that, right? But for not playing right now.
Right. But Miami actually gave him the extension that he wanted a bunch of other teams to give him, and understandably so. Like, he got them to a finals. They gave him an extension. He got them to another finals. And now he's 35 years old, and he's not playing very much. And if there's one thing that pisses off Pat Riley is paying you tens of millions of dollars to not play. I mean, he did it to Shaq. That was the crux of their original disagreement. And, that's just the reality of it. So could things have been handled differently both ways? Sure. But I don't – listen, I'm not getting into a staring contest with Pat Riley. Like, he's not going to blink.
Well, the Godfather, no, neither am I. George, last thing for me, because while you're in Minnesota, can you take care of my guy, Ant Edwards, and try to get him to not swear in the walk-off if they win tonight? Can you handle that for me? I don't want my man to have to keep paying $50K.
I hope he does. Listen, it'd be great.
No.
Listen, why? Why not?
I don't want him to. He's gonna be $100K next if he does it again.
What do you care?
I like the guy.
If he swears kiddingly and jokingly, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I think it's going to be fine.
Dude, the league has been crushing him with fines, like over and over and over.
He's the most fine guy in the league. I know.
It's like $500K.
But he can afford it. He just signed a new deal, didn't he? So I think it's fine.
Well, so now his new thing is he curses every time and he gives the finger. Is that the deal?
He's just been.
Well, he's always cursed. I mean, he hasn't always cursed, but he curses a lot. The finger at the official is probably a bit much. That's unnecessary.
First of all, I don't mind the cursing. Andrew Bynum swore at me in a walkout. Not at me, but he swore during a walkout.
He used to swear all the time when he was older.
It's not a big deal. It's just the accumulation of it, I think, is the league's issue, where it's like one issue after the other.
By the way, that was my favorite Kobe, when he was just cursing all the time. Like, I loved it, because you two know me really well. I curse all the time. So I love, like, a guy who's comfortable cursing. I wish I could curse all the time.
No, I do too. I just think that for him, it's all just been building in the wrong direction. But yeah, that's neither here nor there.
My girlfriend gives me a hard time because all of a sudden, like, she and I will be walking around, everything's normal, and then I'll run into a dude, and then before you know it, like 3 or 4 words, I'm like, effing this, effing that, effing, and she goes, what is going on here? She said, well, why do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. That's the way guys talk to each other. You know?
Yeah. I don't curse on the air.
Sometimes you do.
I used to. Well, no, I used to before YouTube.
What if Cappy really pisses you off?
No, I used to before YouTube because I could dump it and it wouldn't matter. But now it stays on the air because of YouTube. So
what's the most mad Cappy's made you? George, what's the most?
I don't know. I mean, God, it's been years.
Right.
So
it's every day. I mean, come on. It's like,
Although I will say our guy Royce Tony, who keeps tabs on how much you pissed me off over the years, he actually sent me a message. He sent me some Instagram reel the other day that was funny, and I responded. I said, "Yeah, that's like Cappy, me and Cappy every day." And he's like, "I'm actually really proud of you. Like, you don't let Cappy annoy you at all anymore," which is kind of true. I just let you just do your thing and just kind of like shake my head, face palm, maybe laugh.
That's a true partnership.
Like,
the other day, George and I are talking, and I don't remember exactly what the story was, but it was about, I don't know if it was an Italian guy or a guy from New York. I don't remember. And I was like, oh, it's right over here, And George was like, did you just grab your crotch? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of part of the whole thing, like the thing that we do when we talk like this, right? And he sat back from the microphone, put his hand over his head, and for about 45 seconds was way back over here. Just could not deal with it.
Look, I am an expert at this after doing a show with Michael for many years ago. You reach a certain point when you just got to embrace it. You just got to let it happen. He's going to say and do dumb stuff, and you just enjoy it.
Just got to let it go.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Listen, but I love a good curse. Like, I'm fine. I love Pat McAfee that he can curse. I would say that the only places I don't curse is on the air, as I mentioned, mostly. Well, now especially with YouTube.
How do you do it with your kids, though? Yeah,
in front of my kids.
I've gotten to the point.
I curse
I've
all
gotten
the
to
time
the point
with my
where
kids.
I swear increasingly in front of my 10-year-olds, and it has helped our relationship, if anything. They appreciate.
I think with the 10-year-old, I think I could do it with her. I could swear with her, and she'd get it because she listens to like a lot of EDM music, and it curses every once in a while. There's always an F-bomb here or there in one of those songs. And she listens to that music because that's what I always have listened to. But Mateo is very much like, no, Dad, that's a bad word, or no, Dad, that's a potty
he's a
word.
stickler.
So
Oh, my God. That's great. George, I know you got to go. Hustle up. We will talk to you tomorrow. We'll get you back in here, and we'll do it all, put it all back together tomorrow.
All right. See you guys. Have a good show.
All right. Thanks, man.
See ya.
Hey, listen, this is ESPN 710. KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station, and I want to just remind everybody, if you can help the people who have been impacted and affected by the wildfires this year, donate at redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. Bergie is in for baseball. He's got what we need to know. Trudell is in for Sedano. This is Sedano and Kap on 710 ESPN.
Still throwing it down.
Backdoor cut to LeBron and a thunder dunk. Beautiful pass, and LeBron slams it home.
Guess who's back? Still hitting big shot after big shot.
Three-pointer. Good again! Who is this guy? That's the oldest player in the league.
Live every thrill of LeBron and the Lake Show on 710 ESPN.
Still running the game, still.
Insurance claim. Those two words used to instantly manifest a pit in my stomach. In fact, I get flashbacks of being lowballed and made to feel like a criminal. And, of course, just being ignored. No insurance company is in a rush to fairly compensate clients, even though they unabashedly take our money every year. All of that's behind me now, and I'm never going back thanks to Avner Gatt. Dealing with insurance companies is all they do. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional licensed public insurance adjusters in California, and many of these people used to work for insurance companies. The team at Avner Gatt knows exactly how to handle your claim. You also have some Avner Gatt adjusters with experience in handling hazardous materials, where asbestos and lead testing was their profession. Some of them used to work at law firms handling bad faith claims. Trust me, they know how to deal with any insurance claim dispute. Avner Gatt covers all of Southern California with a real passion for helping people, which becomes all the more obvious when you realize Avner and his family are still the ones answering the phones. So whatever unfortunate occurrence led you to the insurance claim and subsequent abusive relationship, being lowballed, ignored, judged, know that Avner has your back. And if somehow I still haven't convinced you, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. Call today. 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256 and online at avnergatt.com.
With the devastating fires that have struck Southern California, there are options for you if you're dealing with food insecurity. It is the LA Regional Food Bank. You can go to lafoodbank.org/fire. We are also looking for collections from you. All kinds of stuff needed for people that are dealing with the fire right now. Please join us in helping our friends and neighbors who are dealing with this tragedy.
Because like everybody remembers who the best kid on the height in the like the senior when you were a freshman, who's the best kid as a senior, and then if that player then gets to college, you're like, wow, you feel it's our community. You raise that person up. Then they get to the NBA, then they're in the rookie of the year discussion, and then now look, he started a little slower this year, but he's really picked things up since Jimmy went out. His minutes have gone up this last month, and he's starting to play again. So awesome for those kids to be able to see that person.
I always love watching guys, especially when they become pros. And I will say to my girlfriend or my kids who I'm watching a game with, I'm like, see that kid right there? He went to this high school. Yeah. I watched that kid in high school. Or see that guy right over there? I've been watching that kid since he was 15 years old.
Tommy Edwin, baby. We saw him at Country Day.
A little bit of it, right? You feel it makes you feel kind of part
Tommy
of the
Edmonds. Listen, I was talking about it with Kevin O'Connell just the other day because I was saying to somebody, I'm like, this kid, I saw him play quarterback in high school. I watched him play at San Diego State. When he got done and he went to the Jets and he got cut by the Jets, he was trying to get into broadcasting. We held his hand and babysat him by bringing him in because he was in the early stages of trying to get into broadcasting before he got into individual coaching and then became, quarterbacks coach in the NFL, and now he's a head coach. But I just love watching these kids. So that story about Jaime Jaquez, that's really cool.
And that was like the Camarillo's the local school. It's not like you're transferring in there to be a stud or anything like that. It's everybody's like 5'9", 5'10", right? it's a good basketball program right there. But Trudell, you did this, right? Didn't Kobe go back to his high school a lot? And he go visit his teachers?
Lower Merion, he'd go back. Yeah, I mean, it's so, Beto, this isn't a fair fight, though, because I was thinking of the guys that have made it out of Minnesota. Not that many players, right? There are a couple. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Suggs last couple of years, but, if you go talking
Joe
about
Mauer,
LA,
baby, let's go.
Yes, but, talking about, and even the musicians, we got Prince and, the Soul Asylum, and then the list gets a little shorter. Bob Dylan, way back in the day.
Runaway Train.
That's right. But, for Beto, I mean, how many great high school athletes are there? There's, hundreds around this area.
When I always talk about Russell Westbrook, I used to do his high school games for Adelphia Cable in Hawthorne. When I didn't know I wanted to be in this business, I was just doing stupid sideline reporter like Steve Mason style, except I didn't have the cheerleader say cover.
Right.
But Russell in 11th grade was like, I'm going to a big time school. No, you're not, bro. You only got USD, and then he grew, so it's great to see that. And Russell does a lot for the community too, man. That guy's all over the place.
Don't get me started on Russell Westbrook.
The Brody upset us last night.
Beto and I are texting back and forth last night because we thought we were going to go 5 for 5 on Prize Picks. We hit the first 3, which even included some hockey player I had no idea who he was, who had more than 1.5 shots on goal. We're all psyched.
I'm
we're going to win.
counting the money, baby.
Right. We needed Klay Thompson to score 13 points, and we needed Brody to have more than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined, and he let both of them let us down.
Well, Brody, blowout. He's not playing. And Clay's just a bum.
Hey, I'm going to encourage everybody, download that Prize Picks app. Use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Make your first play. It's a $5 play. You get a $50 bonus automatically. And I'm all loaded up tonight on the Heat and the Lakers.
Tell me something.
Okay, you want to hear what I got?
Yeah, let me turn off the Wi-Fi so I can make my bet.
Mike, are you able to play Prize Picks, or can you not?
I'm not. I am not able to play, but I can tell you what I think is going to happen in the game.
Sit this one out, Trudell. Just safety reasons.
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
Well, I got to pull up my my open plays here. I'm waiting for the app to work for me.
Well, make sure you use the code BETO, BETO. Yeah, I got my own code, baby.
By the way, while you're loading this, Cappy, do you know that why are there 16.6 ounce sodas over in the thing over there? Who wants to in the vending machine? Who wants to buy a can that's that big that when you can't reseal it if you're wanting more?
Oh, good
pop
question.
I don't get it.
Do you call it pop?
He calls it pop.
More Midwest. I called it soda to relate to you, and then I went back to what I would
appreciate that.
You have it loaded, Cappy?
I do. Here it goes. Here's what I got tonight. Tell me what you guys think. This is Prize Picks. Download the app. Use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, or
Beto, B-E-T-O.
Either one of them works. Make that $5 play. Get that $50 bonus. Here's what I got tonight for us, Beto. LeBron, more than 22.5 points.
All right, I'm going to do that.
Austin Reeves, Mike Trudell, more than 2.5 three-pointers made.
Oh,
what do you think?
That's a lot.
No, I went back and I looked. When you're on Prize Picks and you click on the player's head, they'll show you how many 3-pointers they've had or how many rebounds they've had in the last however many games. Austin Reeves has had more than 3 points, more than 3 3-pointers, in 4 of the
All
last 5
right,
games.
so 3-pointers made, Austin Reeves.
Okay. Do you like that, Mike, or do you not like that?
I mean, look, as Beto said, as an NBA employee, I'm unallowed to tell you about something like this. But will Austin Reeves take a lot of threes tonight and make them? I think he will.
Okay, thank you.
That's not. I'm just saying, as a
you're so polite.
Basketball,
Yeah, you're so
nice.
Basketball side, yeah. But ask Beto.
Tyler Hero tonight for the Heat.
What are we doing with him?
More than 35 points, rebounds, and assists combined.
Points, rebounds, and assists combined for Tyler Hero.
Mike, last time the Lakers played the Heat, didn't Tyler Hero just lose his mind, go crazy in the third
he made
quarter?
7 threes. He's definitely their go-to guy with Jimmy Butler out. So Tyler Hero is going to shoot the ball a lot and probably score a lot.
All right, that's all I need. I'm only going 2.
You're only
I'm only going 2.
Okay, because I went a little deeper. I got Al Horford tonight. Boston.
You're trying to win 20 grand.
I'm trying to win big. I've got Al Horford for more than 4.5 points. I've got Porzingis tonight for more than 5.5 rebounds, and I've got Karl Anthony Towns for more than 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But guess what? He didn't play, so they pulled him off my sheet.
Yeah, Towns isn't playing tonight. Yeah, he's hurt.
So There you have it. Prize Picks. Download that Prize Picks app. Use the code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Make that $5 play. Get that $50 bonus. Okay, hold on. I see something that's happening here.
I got something for you, Cappy.
Okay, let me explain
Coming
what's
in
going
right
on here.
now is Parker Bell.
Parker Bell. Let Parker love.
Yeah, Love Island with Parker
Yeah.
Bell.
All right, hold on. Tell us what's going on here, Berg.
So there are 2 cheesesteaks from Boo's Philly Cheesesteaks in Koreatown. And this does have the cheese whiz. Try to make it as authentic as possible. I know that Trudell has a very serious take on cheesesteaks.
You don't like them?
I don't like cheese.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal.
How do you have a cheesesteak and not like cheese?
Wow.
If I were going to order a cheesesteak, and I
You can get it without cheese. I've seen it. I've been to Pat's and Gino's.
There's a great, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a great in Philly when we go play the Sixers.
Yep.
And I get it. I just ask, hey, let me get the buffalo chicken, essentially, cheesesteak, but hold the cheese. And then I stick jalapenos on there. So it's not, but I just don't like the cheese itself.
That's why you're skinny, bro. You don't need all that cheese. You're good.
Well, let me tell you what's going on.
For you.
But I do want to try this.
Here's the deal.
Nonetheless.
So we've been asking over the last couple of days with the Rams getting ready to play the Eagles, when you think Philly, you think cheesesteaks. We said, who in L.A. has the most authentic cheesesteak? So we got all these people that sent us tweets about it. And then yesterday, dude, I don't know where he is, but Funchy Lubba.
Funchy's in the back.
Funchy Lubba's like, hey, there's this place called Boo's in Koreatown. And I'm like, well, that's what somebody else had already told me. Dead
I thought this is tomorrow's bit.
Well, it was tomorrow's bit, but it's today's bit. Now it's today's bit. So now Parker has brought in 2 Philly cheesesteak sandwiches from this place, Boo's, and he's cutting them up. Cut it in half even more, Parker, if you don't mind. Right. Let everybody try one of these. You don't want to try it.
New year, new me, bro.
I'm
on the diet. I'm counting the macros.
I don't like cheese, but I will try it.
Okay.
Just so I can
eat the carne. La carne nomás.
And then wait a second. Funchy Lubba, you said this was the place, right? You said, grab a mic, dog. You said this was the spot.
I mean, let's go. How many more people can you get in the studio?
Let's get everybody in
BC,
here.
Bergie, get over this side of the glass.
We can talk from back here. Don't worry about it.
You said this is the best place.
The best place in L.A.
Okay. All right.
Says the guy from Chino.
Looks like they got a good roll. Okay.
The bread's got to be key, man.
Yeah.
The bread's got to be key.
Chino's hot right now, man. Ball Brothers are,
All right, here
Swerve.
goes. All right, somebody here. Mike Trudell, I want you. Oh, that looks good. That does look really good.
Yes.
Like as far as that has the right look, has the right feel. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, I'm sure you can see this right now. All right, let's see what you think.
I'm telling you, new year, new me, bro.
for you,
I'm
Beto.
complete. I'm counting macros. I'm good, bro. I'm gonna be skinny. I'm gonna be Mario Ruiz. Watch out.
Hey, you want to do the rock and roll half marathon in Vegas with me?
No, I can't. I can't run because of the torn meniscus.
Oh.
I try. I'm not even clear for running.
What do you think, Funch? What do you think, Funchy?
Okay.
So good. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'll weigh in here. Again, I've had
Seriously, what do y'all think?
I've had a Philly cheesesteak from like the 3 best places they
Gino's,
always recommend
Pat's, and
in
Jim's.
Philly. Yeah. And this, I will say that this does taste just like that.
Wow.
It does compare to the good ones that I've had in Philly. Now again,
whiz.
this is acknowledging that for me, I don't like the cheese. So the fact that I'm not spitting it out is actually a good sign for this place. So I think Funch
Come on,
did a
Parker.
nice
We
job.
got a couple people in here
Bergie
too.
and Brian Cohen need to try.
Oh wait, he didn't even give it to you guys. Wait, he walked past you.
Right. Yeah. They didn't even let the people that bought it.
And the best
put
part
it all
is,
into the studio.
Parker put on his headphones,
Got the
got the
Started to
microphone,
eat.
and hasn't said one word.
This is why we don't let Parker love.
This is why when we hate on Parker, now you get it.
All right, but
He's like Funchy-esque.
Is he going to be on Love Island though? Because I like
need
watching
to.
that show. Yeah, he'd like to. Okay, it sounds like okay.
Get out of here.
Here's the thing.
Funchy, you're good over there. You got a big old smile.
The Rams.
Pregame's gonna be fun today.
The Rams, I think, are going to get their butts kicked in Philly, and this is acknowledging that they just trashed my Vikings. But I think going into Philly, even as I eat this delicious cheesesteak from LA, I'm a little bit worried about this matchup for them.
Booze
in Koreatown.
That's right.
Thank you, Booze.
Tell you right now, it's damn good.
Does Booze know we went over there?
I don't know. Bergie,
I just ordered it. Yeah, it's fine.
He didn't do my style.
No.
It's our style, bro.
Right.
If we would have Boo in here.
Right, I'd call Boo and be, yo, bro, get over here and bring some of them cheesesteaks. Not 2 of them. I had like 10 of them.
Beto, hand me a napkin there.
Oh, claro que sí, mi amigo.
Dude, that's pretty damn good, huh? I mean, we were looking for
salivating over here.
We were looking for the most authentic Philly cheesesteak in L.A., and I mean, we've only tried one so far, but this Boo's place in Koreatown's really good.
It's good bread.
That's the key. The bread. The bread has got to be good. That's why I'm more of a Gino's guy.
It's soft, but it's not. Look,
it can't be soggy.
That's the thing, though. This is the fact they had to get it here, Cappy.
Amoroso bread, is that what it's called?
It's going to be a tiny bit soggy.
The roll's got to be good,
right? But like, it's the amount of sog is appropriate, and it's like it still tastes good
Yeah.
for delivery. Ideally, you eat it at the place.
Right.
That's when it's gonna
And I said to these guys, I go, listen, just order as is, like whatever is the house cheesesteak sandwich. So it's steak, onions, cheese whiz, and that really good bread.
Oh, that's delicious.
That is
You have to get
fantastic.
the cheese whiz. Like you guys were talking about American. Like no,
Well
you
done on
have
the
to do
meat.
cheese
Yeah.
whiz.
I would
Make it
have
authentic.
thrown some jalapenos on if I had my way.
Right, but I didn't want to change it from the authentic, real. This is the base line. This is a slice of cheese pizza in a pizza place.
Yeah, I think that was the right approach. Guys.
Funchy, you like it, huh?
See, right here,
It's good, huh? You like it, it's juice, eh, my friend?
Look,
see,
Bernie, who's trolling Bergman in the YouTube chat. Bernie Bregman, or is it Bergman? I don't know. I can't read now. Family from Philly. Pats and
Somebody
Geno's
actually-
are tourist traps. Jim's and Tony Luke's are the best there. That's right. Jim's and Tony Luke's. I've had booze. It's great, but South Philly Experience by La Brea Pico is the best in LA.
What's it called?
South Philly Experience on La Brea and Pico. So tomorrow, Bernie Bregman, you can drop them off, baby.
Okay. All right, there you go.
The Sixers.
Yeah, I'm not buying more. This is delicious. Though.
Yeah.
Sixers just tipped off against the Knicks, and you'll be shocked to hear that Joel Embiid is not playing.
Well, that's why I
And
took
Paul
Karl
George
Anthony
is not
Towns tonight.
playing.
But Karl Anthony Towns isn't playing.
Yeah. No,
Didn't
he's
Jim's
not
burn down, I think, in Bernie? Yeah. But yeah, Pats and Geno's, they're right across from each other. It's the tourist spot. You got to do it.
Yeah.
That's where all the pictures are at.
Right.
It's like going to King Taco, right? You
Well,
got to do it. It's there.
It's kind of
But
like
there's better spots.
When you're at Pat's and Geno's, you kind of feel like you're in like a Motown Philly video. You know what I mean? Motown Philly back again.
You know, you Uber there, and then all of a sudden you realize
East Coast night. Boys to Men is going on.
No.
Not too hard, not too soft. Yeah. All right, listen, stick
goes off the
around.
rails.
It is completely
I
off
need
the
to
rails
get you a
today.
new wife, bro.
A new wife?
Yes.
What?
Oh, you ever heard my plan?
What?
Executive producer Hollywood Bert's here, baby.
That's quite a strong statement to make.
Beto is trying to connect me to the widow of the Padres ownership.
So she's fighting with the
You guys
Sizer
think
family.
that's funny? You guys,
pretty funny.
You think that's funny? Huh?
So it's
I'm
kind
trying-
of like Gail Benson kind of took over the Saints and
Well,
like
she's
that whole.
trying to. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking Cappy gets there, and if she does get the team, Cappy owns the Pods.
Well,
and then we make it a reality show. He had Stable Wars. Now we're gonna make it Keeping Up with the Cappies. Come on. Come on here.
That's not a bad idea.
I said in the Cappy cast and nobody responded. They're all taking it serious down there. Oh, keep Shield.
well,
Whatever.
it could get complicated, but I guess that's why you
That's
have
what
the
I'm
real, the
here.
real father's
We
rights.
call-
That's right. That's why you have real father's rights.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right, stick around. Hold on, everybody. You know, we've been trying. We've been talking to Mike Trudell about his Minnesota Vikings getting ham-slammed by the Rams. But I want to tell you something. I had to go back today to watch the Rams-Eagles game from Week 12 earlier this year to remind myself what happened. And as much as I think that the Rams are going to go to Philadelphia and win, that's how I felt before I went back and watched the game. I'll explain. Coming right back. This is Sedano and Cap.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
I'd never met Michael Cooper, and he was the co-host of the show with Rob Fukuzaki, and they bring me on for the segment. And as I'm walking to go onto the set, Michael Cooper starts breaking my chops about Arcadia High School. Keep in mind, I've never met him, spoken to him, nothing. He's like, oh, Apache in the house. Man, we used to kill you guys. And I'm like, wait, and I knew in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, that's right. He went to Pasadena High School. He's a PHS Bulldog, Arcadia High, Pasadena High, in the same league. And so instantly I'm like, well, yeah, because in basketball, you had guys like you at PHS, and our basketball team had guys like me at Arcadia High. In baseball, we had a much better, and so we were going back and forth. But it was a great moment. Like, no wonder everybody loves this guy.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights. The Father's Rights Attorneys.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforminglAX. That's flylax.com/transforminglAX.
Hey guys, it's Cappy, and if you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Let me say it again. It's real simple. If you're ready to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Everybody has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and they're ready to move. Some have inherited property, and you know what? They don't want to have that property. They want to get rid of it. Or maybe you're just ready for a change in your life. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make you a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, and they can close in days. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. No complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, hell no. For real?
Was this the first rap song you ever heard? Rappers Delight?
I mean, wasn't this everybody's first rap song?
Basically.
How much you got of this song?
I mean, look, I used to be able to go pretty deep. Like, if we're playing beer pong at Northwestern circa like 2002, then I would have been pretty locked in.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how much of the verse, but I mean, we can all do the hip to the hippity hop.
Do you do like the I am Wonder Mike and I'd like to say hello? To the black, to the white, to the red, and the brown, to the purple and yellow.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I
first,
think
I got to.
That's probably pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to hear more.
I figured Wonder Mike. I mean, Mike Trudell. I figured that you are Wonder Mike. Not the case, huh?
Well, there was a what's the movie? Oh, you remember Office Space, where like the white guy, opens the scene and he's blasting the gangster rap, right?
Uh-huh.
And then like a homeless guy starts approaching the car and he kind of looks over and he slowly rolls up the window, kind of like locks the door and kind of lowers his voice down there. That's the opening scene. That is one of the funniest movies, by the way.
Office Space?
Office Space.
Don't know it.
No, anybody?
Oh yeah, and he's sitting in traffic, and he keeps changing lanes, and the traffic stops, and every time he changes lanes.
It's the opening of the movie. So Mike Judge, the guy that did a bunch of like Beavis and Butthead and like a bunch of stuff, wrote it. It's Jennifer Aniston's in it. I'm telling you, it's one of the funniest movies going. I would be shocked.
Now, if it's a Jennifer Aniston movie, how could I not have seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she looks great in it
and
too.
He basically like it's the consultants come in. Right to the office and
burn down the building.
It's just everything about the movie. Yeah, Milton. It's an amazing movie, and it's one of those things that like Michael Thompson loves to give me a hard time for not having watched every movie in the 70s, but he surely hasn't seen this movie, even though it's funnier than all of the movies that he talks about all the time.
Got to be honest with you, haven't seen it, don't know it.
Oh, now, Greg, we are not steering him wrong. He should watch this tonight.
Absolutely, you should go home and watch this after the Laker game.
Yeah.
Put this on.
Okay.
You'll laugh. It'll be great.
I promise you'll like it, and you will thank me later.
It holds up too. I really think that you can watch it now and be totally fine. Like a lot of old movies don't hold up. This one does.
Cappy, instead of driving all the way down to San Diego, you could just come over and stay at my house, and after the game, we'll watch it tonight at like midnight.
I have a better idea. Why don't we get done with the Laker game tonight? Why don't you come over to my house
at the hotel
at the East Central, right across the street, and we can cuddle up and watch the movie together.
Do you have a king bed or two
share
queens?
A blanket?
I have a king bed.
King bed?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can put pillows down the middle.
There's enough room for both of us.
You can be on your side. I can be on my side.
Is it a California king? Or?
It is a California king.
Okay.
Very comfortable.
What are you going to do with the hand statue?
I'm going to probably sit Mike on it for a few minutes and at least take some pictures.
Could we? Question: do you have like a bottle of wine?
In the bathtub?
I'll get a bottle of wine for you.
Get a bottle of wine?
The Nixo Lounge for sure.
Okay, and this is sounding pretty good. Could we get more cheesesteaks?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe buffalo chicken without cheese.
Yeah,
would be my
I
preference.
like your order: buffalo chicken, no cheese.
With jalapenos. Yeah,
you order that in Philadelphia, I mean, you get laughed out of the place.
No, they look. They're just happy that you're buying it. Now, in a certain place, you might get a little side eye, but like it's on the menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are people. Yeah, it's on the menu. It's on the menu. You can order it. Yeah.
All right.
Cheesesteak minus the cheese.
So I want to say that speaking of cheesesteaks that we just had, I had to this afternoon go back and watch the Eagles and the Rams from earlier this season.
Good, because I'm never watching the Rams against the Vikings again.
Okay. I really must tell you that I looked at the score and I was like, I remember the Rams not being overly competitive in the game. And I can see that the Eagles had destroyed the Rams that day. 37-20 was the final score.
Well, you remember what happened in that game, though.
So
Saquon absolutely destroyed all hopes and dreams.
Right. So what happened was, and I had to go back and watch it. What happened is in the first half, it was 13-7 at the end of the first half. And the Rams kind of came out hot. They scored early and took a lead. And then Philadelphia started to chip away at it. They had like I said, a 13-7 lead. No big deal.
Right.
Start of the second half, I want to say it was the first play of the second half. They gave the ball to Saquon Barkley, and he was gone.
70-yard run.
Okay.
Blew it open, 20-7 all of a sudden.
So it was 20-7. Then later in the game, he had another 60-yard kind of run. So he had about 130 yards of his, you ready for this? 255 yards rushing in the game.
Just busted 2 huge runs.
Saquon Barkley had 2 monster runs. He did. And the thing is that I was saying yesterday, Mike, that I'm all in on the Rams as an emotional story. When Sean McVay got done with the game against Minnesota, he goes into the locker room, and you see Sean McVay in these post-game locker room speeches. He's walking up and down the locker room. There's not like some circle around him where he's got a couple of seconds. He's going all around that locker room. He can't be stopped. And
Cappy, let me pause you on that. But I believe it when he seems like a genuine guy in those, because you see some of the coaches and they're kind of the cameras on. Okay. And then they really ramp it up. That's kind of like how McVay is.
I don't think Sean McVay knows the cameras are on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just his thing. He's got the energy.
This is the way I do it. So McVay, after the game against Minnesota, goes into the locker room. He kind of says, hey, look, everything that our city's going through, everything that we're going through. And I think the phrase he used is, we're built for this. And he said something like, given everything that's going on with the city, we really did the city proud. And you could hear one of the players in the background say, putting the city on our back. And I have bought into the emotional story of the Rams going to Philadelphia and winning. Maybe Washington goes to Detroit and wins, and then the Rams get to host the NFC Championship game. And if not, the Rams go to Philadelphia and win, Detroit wins, and then the Rams go back to Detroit where they lost the first game of the season. They lost last year in the playoffs, and round 3 between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford goes to Stafford, and the Rams go back to the Super Bowl. I'm all in on the emotion of the story.
So as you're telling me this, and I hear that, I look up, and we got Knicks Sixers in the background. Karl Anthony Towns, not playing as you mentioned, is sitting on the bench wearing a Philadelphia Eagles sweatshirt.
Oh, my God, hilarious.
In Philly, while his team is playing against the Knicks. Now, Cat is from Jersey, but of course, like people that don't know that part of the country,
South Jersey is
basically Philadelphia, right? It's right to the west. It's right there. So I don't know about the choice. Right, it says while your team is playing Philly, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Just that kind of occurred to me that he is. Sorry, that threw me.
LeBron plays against the Knicks and then puts on a Knicks towel after the game, so he can show everybody, look, I got this Knicks towel around my.
Oh, that was a whole thing.
But by the way, the game's not till Sunday. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, like
you don't got to wear that tonight.
Just wear it, wherever, whoever you're playing against on Friday. You can wear it to the arena, especially when that team isn't the Sixers.
Or Saturday or Sunday if you play over the weekend.
Don't you guys
play
see
it on Wednesday.
All Karl Anthony Towns is doing is saying,
"Thank you, Greg." I just think it's like, what's happening here?
He's trying to ingratiate himself into the Philly fans so that they don't yell and scream at him.
He's not, okay. Now I too went back and I just was kind of, because I knew you were going to talk about this. I went back and looked at that game and. here's the problem. You can't just say, well, if Saquon didn't bust, 2 80-yard runs, then the game would have gone different because they still have Saquon. He still has that breakaway speed. Like Aaron Jones and the Vikings doesn't have that gear to get to. So I do, though, it can't be at the same time if I'm trying to talk myself into it. Well, Sean McVay is such a smart coach. They're going to do something different and basically say Jalen Hurts, if we're not even going to double cover A.J. Brown, something. Saquon is not busting through the line again at all. And we're selling out to stop the run. If you want to throw it down the field and we lose that way, so be it. But that's the blueprint I feel like that the Rams have to be thinking. They cannot let Saquon go forget 255 yards. They can't let him go for 170 yards.
Listen, going back and watching that game earlier today, Saquon Barkley, 255 yards, including 2 monster touchdown runs. That's only the start of what went wrong for the Rams. We'll get back to it coming up. Radio Tinder is on the way. Hey, listen, I want to remind everybody one more time, if you can, if you financially can, if your heart is into it, if you would like to do something. I know everybody feels like, gosh, what can I do to help these victims of the California wildfires? Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN. Let's all help the Red Cross respond and help all of our brothers and sisters recover. All right, Radio Tinder is up next. Then more of what went wrong for the Rams when they played the Eagles earlier this season. This is Sedano and Kap.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
It is good, but I'm telling you, the Mason and Bergman thing is going to set somebody off.
What about this? Let's compromise a little. What about Mason, Ireland, and Bergman? No? Still no?
He's on no.
It's still a
The show is Mason and Ireland.
Right. It's non-starter?
It's a non-starter.
Mason, Ireland, Bergman, Cohen, Romo.
Yeah, too many names.
Too many
It's a
names.
law firm. That's a law firm.
That's long.
Into
Wow, I'm out of here.
You're done.
Too many.
Got a nice ring
So
to
I
it.
tell you,
Mace.
you are going to piss off Ireland to no end.
The question is, does it piss you off?
I don't care.
Yeah.
He's like, my name is still first. I don't
Yeah,
care.
as long as
That's all that matters.
first, I don't.
You
yeah.
both get a ton more than me. So it's just a name at the end.
It is just,
it's
just
a
like
name at
our
the end.
chippy little pal, Bergman.
Yeah. Oh, is that where you want to go? Okay.
That's where I'm going.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Hey, everybody, excited to have with me in studio the one and only Dr. Monica Madden from Beverly Hills Ortho. Hi, Dr. Madden.
Hi, thanks for having me. This is exciting.
All right, let's get to why we want everybody to listen carefully because you have a special offer for ESPN LA listeners. Tell me about it.
We're really happy to be part of the ESPN LA family and so grateful for everyone listening right now. We are giving the first 5 people who register now and every time this airs $1,000 off Invisalign or braces treatment. Just go to BeverlyHillsOrtho.com and enter the code SMILE and you're on your way.
So enter the code SMILE at BeverlyHillsOrtho.com and I could get $1,000 off Invisalign?
Yes, absolutely.
And what if I wanted to just call the office? Can I get the offer that way?
Yes, absolutely. Just say SMILE and you heard it on ESPN.
877-7, let's do this.
Yes.
Or, Monica, as I like to say, BeverlyHillsOrtho.com.
And it is Sedano and Kap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland, Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, Producer Lindsay.
No producer Lindsay today, but do you remember, did you see the video, it was a viral video, of a Eagles fan berating a Packers woman and the Packers fan? Did you see that video?
I heard about it. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. It's kind of like Office Space. I haven't seen it.
How old was the berater?
The braider was in his 50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the woman was probably in her 30s.
And he's at the game yelling and screaming in her face?
Using the C word at her.
Well, at least he didn't hit her.
And, no, it was really, really bad.
Don't love that.
No, it's terrible. But so the Eagles fan who verbally attacked the Packers fan has been fired from a DEI-focused consulting company that he works for. It's called BCT Partners, and they are a DEI-focused consulting. This is going to be the last time you see one of these things happen, swipe left or swipe right, where you get fired off of a video like that.
Oh, I will swipe left. People who make idiots of themselves and go viral for it and can therefore make their company look bad or have their employees look around and go, did you really do that over a football game? No, that is not the last time that we will see somebody get fired for doing something stupid at a sporting event.
You know what made me think of? Like when Morales is here and he'll come in and ask me some question during a break, and I'll have to look and are we sure that microphone's off right now? Because here's my real answer on it. But even in that, we may just be talking about something about Kaplan's past that he may or maybe shouldn't have done. But if you're going to be a jerk and it gets caught, forget the DEI and forget the woke and whatever it is and how much our society has evolved over the last several years. If you're being a jerk, then you have to be liable for it sometimes, professionally or not. So yeah, I think that'll happen again.
Yeah, I think there was a guy a couple months ago who was a Ravens fan, and he was walking down the street, big drunk dude, and looking to pick on people. I don't remember who they were playing.
Just begging for somebody to say something to him.
And he had a guy following him with a camera on, and he walks up to these two fans from this other team. Somebody will remember what I'm talking about. And he's this big giant dude, young guy though, 24 years old, big giant dude, 6'4", 250, and he's just looking for trouble. And he's got a buddy of his shooting video, and he finds these two guys that are wearing the opposing team's jersey. I don't remember who the Ravens were playing, and he beats the crap out of both of these guys, neither of them are fighting back, neither of them are looking to pick a fight, and neither of them are like, hey, I want some. Anyway, they find the guy. They plaster his face everywhere. They tell you where he works, and he was in the same situation where he got. Does anybody remember what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that.
BC, do you remember who he beat up two guys?
I don't remember the exact story, but it draws memory to
what
you're saying.
And then he
randomly punched him.
Yeah, he walks away yeah, man, I'm the champ. You jerk.
At what point are people going to realize that there are always cameras around you? Always, everything that you do in public settings, you're being filmed.
100%.
And they absolutely should be fired.
Yeah, man, take your medicine. Sorry, buddy.
I got to go see this video. Philly fans are out of their minds, just by the way. I had a buddy of mine who's a Giants fan, went to Philadelphia, was wearing all of his Giants gear. His mom, his dad, and him all wearing Giants gear in Philadelphia.
Hey, go on.
You're taking your life in your hands. You're taking your life in your hands. I'll tell you that right now.
So the Vikings, after you guys maybe remember the Minneapolis Miracle, right?
Yep.
The bomb a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And the Vikings' reward is to go to Philly. And at that point, we all thought, we're going to the Super Bowl. Well, no. So Philly completely destroyed the Vikings. But I had several friends go to that game. These are guys who have been to a lot of football games all around the country. Never have they had a worse experience with the opposing fan base. So I would just caution any Rams fan, if you're wearing the gear and you're going to Philly, I'm talking about getting just beer thrown on you, batteries thrown in, all manner of words. The worst fan base that my buddies have ever been to. So get ready for it, guys.
So this buddy of mine and his parents drove their car with New York Giants flags on it, and they parked it in the parking lot at Old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. They're in the game, and all of a sudden, some guy pours what you think is a beer over his mom's head. Turns out it wasn't beer. It was another yellow substance that was inside that cup.
That's like when the U.S. national team goes to Azteca. That's rough.
On mom's head. Mom's name is Naomi.
Bro.
I mean, talk about old school. Naomi had a cup of urine thrown on top of her melon.
I mean, so Bergman, the three of us, we're in the top % of people who love sports. Clearly, we're working in sports.
Sure.
But it is also sports. And this is somebody that I have super passionate about all of my teams, but I'm not trying to beat somebody up. Okay, when I go to watch my team play.
Or get beat up.
That video you were talking about, Cappy, Let Parker Love says it was a Commanders fan.
Commanders, that's right. Ravens and Commanders. These two Commanders fans just get their asses handed to them by this big drunken jerk. By the way, when my friend left the Eagles-Giants game after his mom had the cup of, a 16-ounce cup of urine thrown on top of Naomi's head. By the time they got out to the parking lot, their car, which had Giants flags on it, was turned upside down in the parking lot.
Oh, man. And speaking of Giants, like, that made me think, too, like the parking lot for San Francisco Giants and Dodger games. There was a couple of years in a row where it was getting really bad. That also not cool.
No.
Yeah. Don't be doing all that, guys.
Right. All right, let's keep it going, Bergie. What do you got?
I got one for you, actually.
Oh, BC in the house.
All the talk about Coach Prime going to the NFL, making that kind of switch. He came out. He says he's staying in Colorado and came out with a set of rules for his next class coming up. And for the seniors, any D's or F's, he says they're going to take away some of their NIL checks. What do you think about this? You in and out on them taking away NIL money.
I'll go here, Cappy. I love this as an aspirational type of a message. I wonder if it would actually follow through. But like just to put it out there, to put it in the guys' heads of like, hey, you're coming here for a total experience. Some of you may get to the NFL, great. Others, I want you to do well in school. Like, I think that's a cool message. Now, what I actually want him though, Cappy, if somebody just maybe they're not the best at school and they get a D even though they tried hard, and then it's going to cost them $20K. That's a little tough, but I like it as an aspirational message.
I also like it very much. I mean, Coach Prime has said, look, my responsibility is not just coaching these guys to get them to the NFL. It's about, turning out young men. And so, hey, I'm expecting you to go to school, which is like refreshing because, frankly, I don't think anybody goes to school anymore because in the era of NIL and the transfer portal, I think every school is like, we don't expect you to go to class. We just pay you to come here and play football. You're a pro. So the fact that
or
Deion,
you transfer to another school or whatever.
right,
the year after.
Right. We don't care about you. You're going to leave here anyway. So just get through the football season.
Yeah.
So I think that it's somewhat admirable of Coach Prime. But that being said, that Colorado program, house of cards as soon as he leaves.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe.
I went to Colorado for a semester, and what that matters doesn't matter.
A lot of my high school friends went there.
Smoked way too much,
right?
To stay there.
That's basically why my high school friends went to Colorado.
Yeah, well, that was the reason I went to it. That's why I came home within a year. But at the same time, like, there's so much to do in Colorado. Boulder is beautiful. You're 2 hours away from basically every mountain. There's so much activity. Like on 420, they actually block off the field in the middle of all the dorms, and people just stand out there and smoke. Like that place is tough to stay in no matter what. So if you're trying to get people to not get D's and F's, you're barking up the wrong tree, especially with athletes that are not actually there for school.
Real quick, a rare personal anecdote for me. So I mentioned this to you earlier, Cappy, but I was an intern with the Ravens in 2005, and Prime was a player. He was still playing. He was on the team. He was a vet at that point. He'd come in, and of course Ray Lewis was there and Ed Reed. And I will just say that I have never been around somebody with more swag that was more well liked by a team than him. Everybody loved him. The white offensive lineman from South Dakota and the dude from everybody loved him. There really is the magnetism to him. Now I don't know how that's evolved over the years, and everybody has strong opinions now, but it was real. Like I saw it the whole season. He is a real dude, and everybody loved him in that locker room.
I thought he was going to leave Colorado as soon as Shedeur was ready to go to the NFL. Then he got the #1 high school quarterback. Then he got some hot shot transfer quarterback, and he went into the transfer portal, and everybody wants to go play for Coach Prime. And so I'm like, oh, then he's going to stay. But now that the Cowboys job is open, all of a sudden I'm thinking that if Coach Prime becomes the highest paid coach in the NFL, Sean Payton is currently at $17 million a year, I could see Coach Prime jump into Dallas.
He's probably got a lot of money.
Money not being
right?
100%. He makes $8 million a year in his base salary at Colorado. He has the Aflac commercials. Apparently, he gets a piece of all the merch that is sold through Nike.
Oh, and he came in with a lot of money from his career, right? And endorsements and those dope shoes that he had back in the day. With I'm just bringing this up to say it's not like, oh, does he need the $17 million? Is that going to make a difference versus the whatever 8 plus all the bonuses you said?
No, it's an ego thing. Like, hey, we're going to make you the highest paid coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people say he will never go to play or never go coach in Dallas because Jerry Jones would never give him the opportunity to really have a voice.
The amount of control.
It's Jerry's team, and you get out there and coach it. You're just Jason Garrett with a lot of swag. So, I still think he might go.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, Mike Trudell, are we getting you off to this Laker Heat game?
I'm heading across the street.
Okay.
And we didn't talk about it much tonight, in fact, in the show at all, but this is a game the Lakers got to win. 3 straight losses, It's Miami's coming in. No Jimmy Butler. Like, they're playing fine. Right, they've got 3 wins and 2 losses on this trip. This is the last of their 6 game. And I will say, when a team's on a 6-game road trip, they're pretty tired by this point. So Lakers, they got to play better than they played in the second half against the Spurs.
You say, not must win as in playoff must win, but just, to kind of get things straight. Before you go, I would like to just hear, you got Miami tonight, then you got Brooklyn coming in on Friday.
Yep.
Then you're going to be down at the Intuit Dome to play the Clippers. And then Washington, and next Thursday night, I guess is probably going to be the biggest regular season game against
Celtics,
Boston, because it's the only time that the Celtics are in town. And then you got the Grammy trip coming up, right? Because then you're on the road at Golden State, at Charlotte, at Philly, at Washington, at New York, at the Clippers. So you got to win this game, and just kind of go on a little bit about why this game is so important. Because if they don't win this game with what's coming up, things could kind of turn south pretty quick.
Yeah, the zoom out way I would look at this is like, if you're the Lakers, what you in any kind of world that's ideal, you want to avoid being in that play-in race that they've been in the last couple of years, where you're having to put the pedal down in March, in April. You're having to extend minutes for LeBron and AD just to get into a spot where you have to win a game or two to get to the 7 or 8 seed. A week ago, Cappy, Lakers were like a game away from the 3 seed. And now 3 straight losses, all of a sudden they're in the 7 spot. You got Minnesota playing a little better. You got Sacramento playing a little better. Phoenix just makes a trade. These are all teams that are in the play-in spot right now. Like Golden State's in the 12 spot. So it's just, you have to take care of business here against some of these weaker teams at home before you go out on the road in this trip. And so that's all it is. Like, LeBron and AD have been healthy. The team can certainly play better than it's been playing, and you want to avoid at all costs being in another one of those big type of moves just to get into a play-in spot.
And I would like to say this to LeBron, because I know LeBron listens when he's on his way in, and I know when he's in the training room he listens a lot as well. Yo, LeBron, you got to win this game for the city. You got to look at what the Rams did. Like the Rams said, we're going to put the city on our back. You have this chance to win this game on Monday night. Did nobody tell the Spurs you're supposed to lose that game?
Well, those games are. I've seen it like after Kobe passed away, like that. The next game, the team lost. Like sometimes you come up and you want to do it so much, and I think they did in the first half. It's really hard to maintain that level of emotion and then also focus on the basketball side of it, which is where things slipped in the second half. So tonight, though, maybe they can, having a day removed now, maybe they can be a little bit more focused, stick to the game plan, force Miami to tough shots. Miami's going to kind of try to make you beat yourselves. Don't beat yourself, and I think that they'll play better tonight.
They fell apart at the end of the third quarter when Billy Mack said, let's go over to Mike Trudell. He's standing by with Michael Cooper, the man of the evening. And then you set up Michael Cooper perfectly, and then you were doing this interview with Cooper. And I'm telling you, the Lakers were up 4 at the beginning of the interview, and they were down about 30 by the time the interview was over.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't see the court because I'm interviewing Coop, and I'm turned around because the camera is shooting towards the court. But I just kept hearing these roars go up, and I'm like, what happened? So I look over my shoulder while he's talking, and I just see Wemby's hand 6 feet over the rim, and then the oohs and ahs when it goes on. I'm like, what is going on? I got to get off of this interview. But his jersey went up. We want to hear from Coop.
Yeah,
it was a tough spot. So are you blaming me?
No, not at all. But when you send it back to Billy Mack, Billy Mack's like, well, there was a dunk show that was going on in the middle of that interview.
Yeah, he's like, the game flipped, so thanks, Mike.
There was a split screen, so I was able to listen to your interview while seeing the Spurs take over the game.
Not great. Not great. But we'll see. They should bounce back tonight, and I think they will.
Mike Trudell, thank you for coming in.
Pleasure, Cappy.
And I'll see you over at the arena tonight.
Seaberg.
All right, there you go. Mike Trudell stopping in, everybody, for Sedano. And Michael going over for a little J.J. Redick pregame press conference. And then we're going to lead you up till 5:30 tonight, and then we go over to Beto and the pregame show. And Beto's going to check in from Crypto.com in just a couple of minutes. Hey, listen, let me talk to everybody here for a second about Avner Gatt. Now, look, I've been talking about Avner Gatt on the radio for years, and I would always say the same thing. If you have water damage, if you have fire damage, if your house is victimized through thieves, you don't want to deal with your insurance company. You want to let Avner Gatt handle that. He's a public insurance adjuster, over 20-plus years of experience, a full team behind him, and all the relationships with the insurance companies. Little did I know that over the course of these years, talking about Avner Gatt, that I would be talking to you about what has happened here in the last week and change. Guys, if your house was destroyed or significantly damaged in these fires, don't deal with your insurance company. Let Avner Gatt handle that. If you are feeling pressured by your insurance company that they are going to underpay you, if you feel like they're going to ask you to use subpar contractors, if you feel like you've been ignored after all these years of loyalty, let's turn to Avner Gatt, California's premier public adjusting firm, over 20 years of experience, unparalleled industry expertise, worked with all the insurance companies in all the different sectors, and they offer a free consultation. And I'm telling you, that's something you ought to take Avner up on. They're trusted by lawyers, by contractors, by real estate professionals. Avner Gatt is ready to fight for you. If you lost your home, sadly, if your home has been significantly damaged, is the way to say it, Avner Gatt is here to fight for you. Avner Gatt, AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. You don't deal with the insurance company. Avner Gatt deals with the insurance company. Avner Gatt, your claim, our game.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. after Greening.
I don't think I've told you. I used to be in a bowling league.
You can bowl too.
I a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not a good bowler, but I'm not a terrible
You're
bowler.
like 9 feet tall. Though.
Yeah.
How do you get down there?
I was okay. I was in the bowling league when I was in my 20s, so this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I have my own ball. Okay?
Nice.
Okay. And I'm okay, or at least I used to be okay. We go bowling. It's me and my 3 children, my wife, and Bobby's girlfriend, Sarah. Okay? So there's 6 of us. And we got the 3 women on one lane, and we got the 3 boys on the second lane. We're right next to each other. So they're competing, we're competing. Bobby won 2 of the 3 in the men's division.
He beat you.
And Michael won the other one.
You got smoked?
I got skunked, DeMarco.
Well done, Dad.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here. Are you going through a life change? Whether you're downsizing, inheriting a home, or ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs, no hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Now here's an important message from my friend, Jacob and Ronnie.
Wildfires can leave lasting scars on our families, our homes, our communities, and our peace of mind. Navigating the recovery process is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Jacob Amrani, and my team and I are here to help ensure you're treated fairly and get the resources you need. Call us for a free consultation and let us help you rebuild with confidence.
Call Jacob. Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent are required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog
on 710 ESPN.
Word Up Magazine.
Yes, it is. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yo, it's Sedano and Kap. Bergie has just walked into the studio as Trudell has exited stage left, going over to Crypto.com for tonight's Lakers Heat game at 7 o'clock. Pre-game starts at 5:30 right here on 710. We do have the commercial-free half hour coming up at the top. So from 5 to 5:30, we'll go commercial-free, and then we'll hand things off to the Laker pregame show. Now, Bergie, what is going on in the Sedano and Kap Circle of Trust community right now?
So you know when you click on communities just to go get to there, it doesn't take you to the most recent picture. It takes, or to the most recent post. It takes you to what they think is the top post, right? So this post is very unsettling every time I go into the communities because there's, from Grant in LA, there is a picture of Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, and they put Chris's face on it. And it is just unsettling every single time I click on communities. That's the first picture that comes up. And it's uncomfortable, Cappy.
Why is that the first picture? I just opened it up as well. It says,
"Get in my belly," which is amazing. I dressed up as Fat Bastard one year, and it was great.
Grant in L.A. says, Morales in his office waiting for the city of L.A. to bring him pizza. This is 100% real, Cappy. That's what he says. I'm just seeing this for the first time, and I want to say that this was tweeted like a couple days ago.
Oh, it was a couple days. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still on. That's the first
you know what?
one.
It's probably yesterday.
Today's the 15th. Yeah, it was yesterday.
It
So
was-
they
yeah.
think that is the most popular post that people want to see.
Oh, is that how
when
it
you go
works?
into that community? I assume.
Okay.
The top hit, and it's just tough to constantly look at every single time.
You know, Grant, what you're probably doing to Morales right now is I'm guessing that he's at the Orange County offices of 710.
He is.
And he's looking at this picture, and he's probably just sitting there crying to himself.
Yeah, that's
not
what-
laughing. Okay, he's probably crying to himself because in his mind he's probably like, "That is me without a shirt on."
If he was here, he'd be saying that that's how he feels.
Yeah.
But that is not him.
I mean, the left boob, the way Chris's left boob is sitting on his belly,
It's just like laying there,
Right.
like a pancake.
right? That is the definition of a flippy floppy. You feel me?
Yeah, very much so. See, isn't it just like rough to look at every time you go in communities? It's that picture.
Right.
Oh, that's
Oh,
just,
man.
Like, we gotta. Can there be a better like post to make that move down the list? Oh yeah, keep.
Is it,
showing
I'm
that.
showing it to everybody on our YouTube channel right now. I'm showing it to everybody. I don't know if you guys can zoom in on this thing, but man, look at that picture at the top of the Sedano and Cap community, the Circle of Trust on Twitter. There is that picture of Morales' head on Fat Bastard's body, and that left boob just sort of laying there, comfy on that belly.
The flippy floppy, as
Yeah,
you call it.
right.
Yeah. By the way, Austin Powers was a very underrated movie. That movie was so funny.
See, that's one of those movies that when you are
That's not-
flipping by on a channel,
Stop.
You always stop. For me, movies like Stripes with
Oh,
Bill
so
Murray,
good.
it's the same deal. I stop all
Well,
the time.
But Stripes, it's only like the first half of the movie that I want to watch. The second half, it completely changes, and I don't really need that.
Yeah, I could understand that, but like Caddyshack, same thing.
Oh,
You guys
great.
mentioned that movie earlier, Office Space. I've never seen it. I got to see it.
Watch it because that will become one of those shows that you stop and watch every time it's on. It's great. In the best scene in that entire movie, Austin Powers, is when he's in the cart and then he gets stuck sideways and keeps trying to get in and out of it. You know what I'm talking about? He just keeps hitting the wall and
I know
then
what you're
backs
talking
up.
about,
and
yeah.
hits
It's pretty
the
good.
wall.
Oh, yeah.
And he's back and forth between
Right.
the wall.
I think of another movie that's like that every time you watch it, you realize how good it is and maybe you miss something, was Will Ferrell and Anchorman.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Anchorman?
Yeah, it took me like 10 tries to actually like that movie.
Oh, you see, to me, every time I see Anchorman, I'm like, this movie is so funny. And this scene, which I've seen 500 times, is even funnier now for whatever reason. I think Anchorman is one of those kinds of movies.
Yeah, no, it is a very funny movie. I think the lines in the movie made it better than the actual movie. I get a lot of hell for not liking Anchorman.
Well, I'm taking a lot of hell today for not knowing, whatever that movie was, Office Space.
Office Space, it's so good. Absolutely go watch it.
Okay, and Jennifer Aniston, Jen, I know you're listening, girl. I'm sorry that I don't know that piece of work.
Well, you should know her entire catalog.
I know. I mean, like, I know the morning show really well.
Did you watch the 3rd season?
Of the morning show?
Yeah.
I
didn't.
think so.
Yeah.
Really? I think I did.
I watched the first 2. The 3rd one, I just couldn't
Oh, really?
put it on for whatever reason.
Now, I've told everybody, I just got done with a series, or at least the season of the series, called Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't, but I heard the speech. Incredible.
The one that Jerry Jones did?
Yeah, incredible.
Jerry Jones steals the show, at least in episode 9, and there's only 10 episodes. But when people go, well, that's just Jerry, he's just being real. I'm like, yeah, but you have any idea how hard it is for a guy who's an 80-something-year-old NFL owner to sit you're there with all the lights and the cameras and the producers and the actors, and Billy Bob Thornton is sitting to your left, and you're putting on
John Hamm is in the bed.
Yeah, that was an incredible scene by Jerry Jones.
Yeah, and it resonates with so many people too. So for me specifically, I've over the last couple of years, my dad and I and my brother have kind of not gotten along very well. So I saw that video and I sent it over to my brother because they're now having some back and forth, and just be like, look, just get together again. Just be father and son again, because it's not a lot of time left in your life. You're going to look back in this time that you weren't talking and think, wow, I should not have let that happen when he does pass. So It actually resonated very, very much with me.
Yeah, it was great. All right, let me do this. Top of the hour is coming. 30 minutes commercial free. Beto will check in from Crypto.com in advance of tonight's Lakers Heat game. And we're going 30 commercial free next. But before we get there, let me just talk to everybody about where I literally live, right across the street, right across from LA Live, right across Figueroa, right across from the whole complex over here. It's the East Central Hotel. So why the East Central? If you're going to do a staycation, if you're going to come down to LA, downtown LA, you're coming in for a game, you're coming in to see a museum, you're going out to a fancy dinner, you want to go out drinking, partying, having a good time, rather than Ubering home, stay at the East Central Hotel. Make a weekend of it. There's so much interesting stuff going on in downtown LA. So the East Central Hotel, why the East Central? There are lots of hotels in downtown LA. The biggest rooms by far, and that's not just some opinion, that is a statistical fact. They've made these mega hotels with much smaller rooms so they can get as many people in as possible. You got huge hotel rooms, contemporary decor, including the Kobe room, the Great One room, the Madonna room. Every room has a painting from somebody famous that did something great across the street. You've got an incredible gym with all the equipment you're going to need while staying at a hotel. You don't need everything, but you got everything you need at the gym. You got the Nixo Lounge where you can get a nice cocktail in the mornings. That's where I eat breakfast. And I'll just say one other thing. The people who work at the East Central, because I've gotten to know them over the last couple of years, they're great. It's like a big family over there. So the East Central Hotel in downtown LA, book your next stay at eastcentralhotel.com. That's eastcentralhotel.com. East Central Hotel in downtown LA, entertainment's official address.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
I just talked to O'Shea Jackson Jr. We were talking about baby faces and heels.
Yeah.
And we decided that I am the baby face and Ireland is the heel. What do you
100%.
think? Yeah,
Ireland's
does that pretty much line up?
Ireland is a heel for sure.
And we do have kayfabe around the station. Do we not?
Do we? Who?
Kayfabe. Kayfabe is the stories around, like we've got stories, narratives like they have in professional wrestling. They call that the kayfabe.
Oh, I've never heard that saying before. See, I don't know wrestling.
Shay and I are wrestling.
Steve Mason, big wrestling guy.
He's teaching me wrestling one podcast at a time.
Are you actually listening to his podcast?
No, he's coming on mine.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normanlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normanlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Here we go. Commercial free.
30 minutes.
That's right. Then we take it all the way up to Lakers pregame. Lakers Heat tonight. You'll hear the game right here on 710. Beto Duran will check in from across the street at Crypto.com. And then we'll hand off to the pregame show. Bergie is in now for Sedano. Brian Cohen is in for DeAndre. But DeAndre has just walked into the studio.
What's up, D? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's going on?
My young brother. I have something I have to talk to you about.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know what it is, to tell you the truth.
So, you know how yesterday I came on the air, and this is the day after the Rams beat the Vikings, and I come walking in, man, and I am just fired up for the Rams. You know, and I'm like, hey, listen, the Rams are the team of L.A. And I say the team, I mean the NFL team of L.A., right? They were L.A.'s team. They left. They came back first. They brought the NFL back to L.A. They built the greatest stadium on the planet. They won the Super Bowl in that stadium. They are the team of L.A., and nothing said that louder for me than the win on Monday night against Minnesota when you see Sean McVay after the game in the locker room talking about making the city proud, going through hard times, Daddy. When you have guys in the locker room going, put the city on our back, Coach, I really feel, I get goosebumps. I really feel like the Rams get what they mean at the time, you know? So I'm all caught up in the Rams, and I've convinced myself completely that the Rams will go to Philadelphia and win that game, and I'm working on convincing myself that Washington will go to Detroit and win that game, and that the Rams
home game?
And the Rams will host the NFC Championship game.
It's a possibility. It
So
could happen.
Just put it all together.
it could happen. I mean, it could, but it isn't really likely. Okay, if the Rams upset the Eagles, trust me when I tell you, the Commanders have no chance. Right? Like, there won't be two upsets. There might be one, but there definitely will not be two.
I can see the Commanders upsetting the Lions very easily, actually.
Especially the way the offense has been rolling as of late with Jaden Daniels, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that defense is bad. I don't care what they did against the Vikings the other in the last week of the season. That defense is bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It is not going to. It's going to give up points.
All I'm going to say, though, is this, is that Washington, to me, has this, like, magical thing going with this kid quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy on a team that was not, like, in the national championship picture, so a lot of people didn't really see that much. And so Jaden Daniels has just, he blew my mind this year, how great he is and how exciting he is. But I don't, listen, Vegas says 9.5 points. So nobody's really giving the Commanders much of a chance. So, DeAndre, you're an Eagles fan, and I have convinced myself that the Rams are going to beat the Eagles.
Why you just snicker? That's all you have is just a snicker?
It's funny because I walked in here, right? I walked in, I'm saying what's up to everybody, and I went to the sales side, and I went to go say what's up over there. And you know who approached me and said, hey, DeAndre, come over here. I got something to say to you. Kobe Walsh came up to me. He was like,
big Rams fan.
He said, "Get ready. The Rams are coming to Philadelphia and they're going to take down the Eagles." And I said, "You know what? I'm not against that. I don't feel like the Eagles are going to come out here and dominate this game. I feel like it's going to be closer than it was when the Eagles came out here in SoFi and beat the Rams. Obviously, McVay's coming in. He's going to have a game plan. He's going to have a well thought out scouting report for the Rams and that defense. As everyone's been mentioning, the defensive line has been playing better, especially how young that defense has responded later on in the season. I give Rams all the respect and the credit that they deserve. However, I can't stress it enough how loaded this Eagles offense is, how loaded the defense is. Vic Fangio has his defense playing outstanding, especially down the stretch. When they struggled early on in the season, they figured it out. And with this offense, when you got a guy like Saquon Barkley, who is the best running back in the league right now, and you got two weapons on the outside and a tight end that was hurt in that game against the Rams. And remind you, Devontae Smith did not play.
He did not.
In that game. And Dallas Goedert. People say, oh, he's not. He's another guy. No, he is a key piece to the Eagles' offense to get them rolling. So I'm saying there's a lot of weapons that the Eagles have. And with Jalen Hurts, who does not, he's not going to stay in a pocket like Sam Darnold and, hold the ball as long as he did. He's starting to learn to get rid of the ball quickly. He's not going to first off, he's not going to get sacked 9 times. I'll tell you that right now, especially how that Eagles O-line is.
Yeah. Look how humble he is.
He's very humble. Very humble guy. Very humble sweetheart of a guy. He's a sweetheart of a kid. Love this kid.
Notice everything that's going on with the Rams. Doesn't care. He's just like, oh, I see it. I see what's going on. But.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you my butt. So here I am. I have completely convinced myself that the Rams are going to the Super Bowl, that the Rams are a team of destiny, that the city of Los Angeles needs something to rally around right now, and the Rams are the team, and this is the time. So I have completely convinced myself that the Rams will beat the Eagles. But I made a mistake today.
Oh.
I made a terrible mistake today.
You sure
What'd you
did,
do?
Cappy.
Me and Bergie, this afternoon, we sat down in the office and we went back and we watched the Eagles-Rams game from Week 12.
Oh.
It was not pretty.
It was.
Like, in no sense of the word was that game pretty for the
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something. Rams are dead. They're toast. They're toast. They got no shot. I mean, listen, I have convinced myself on the emotional level that the Rams are the team of destiny. This city needs this team, and they need it now. That is why the Rams are going to win. But I went back and watched the game today. Couple of notes here, okay? The Rams' offensive line in that game. The only guy that was not active in that game that's a starter was Rob Havenstein.
Makes a difference. He actually does make a difference. He strengthened that line, but still.
But they got worked. Matthew Stafford was sacked in that game. I think it was 5 times total. I'll go to the numbers here in 1 second.
Yeah, he was 5 times, and he got hit, I think, another 4 or 5 times.
Matthew Stafford did not get sacked 9 times like Sam Darnold did. Sacked 5 officially, okay, for 45 yards and loss. But he also was hit many times to the point where Stafford had to actually run out of the pocket and move. He actually at one time got stripped and fumbled. The Rams did recover. So while Matthew Stafford was sacked 5 times, not 9 times, he was easily hit another 4 or 5 times. And that Rams offensive line could not hold up against the Eagles defensive line.
I mean, when you got a guy like Jalen Carter, who's a leading force, and you got 2 outside edges, that game we did not. Brandon Graham got hurt that game. He's the Eagles.
And he was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
The entire game.
But like I said, we got a guy like Nolan Smith who has stepped up, and they have another guy in the edge rush, and Josh Sweat who has also stepped up as well. The only thing that worries me right now is seeing how the Eagles played against the Packers, and obviously they have their issues in the throwing game. We understand in the passing game. And then also with the Kobe Dean, he's one of our leading linebackers. He sets the tone as well with Zach Bond. He's out. So now we got to go in there and we have to find who's going to step in and replace him. And now with their concerns that there might be a rookie who's stepping in there. And seeing when Dean went out, the tackling started to go out of place, and the Eagles were not completing tackles, meaning that Josh Jacobs was starting to pick up extra yardages, and that's when it led to him to get in that goal line and score.
Right.
So that's my concern is now it came to that game, it was a gridiron, it was a battle. So now it's the trenches, how are they going to win it?
Well, so here's Bergie and I. We're watching this game this afternoon, and I'm going, dude, the Rams are going to win. And then every single play.
I was like, that's not good. You don't want to see that.
Right.
Oh, you don't want to see that. That's bad.
Offensive line gets worked. Stafford sacked 5 times, hit a bunch of other times, fumbles but doesn't lose the fumble. You had Kyron Williams in the game. This is week 12. 2 fumbles, 1 lost, 1 the Rams actually recovered. So if you've got Stafford who's getting hit and sacked, and you've got Williams who fumbled twice, again, one the Rams kept possession. They even missed a field goal, like a 47-yard field goal. You cannot afford to give up any points against Philadelphia on the road this week in what is expected to be a very cold and snowy game.
So the other part of it, Kyron Williams, if he's fumbling, because last week against in the last game against who did they just play? I can't think.
The Vikings.
The Vikings. Thank you. Against the Vikings, he fumbled again. So that fumble issue has been an issue of his for most of his career. If he's going to be doing that against the Eagles, that causes problems because that was the opening drive that he fumbled and lost. They were driving down the field. I remember sitting with you, Cappy, and we're like, "Oh, this is they're moving down the field this first drive. They're going all the way down, and then." Boom, fumble.
And that fumble turned the whole game
around.
Right away.
Yep. So on the offensive side, again, just the premise is the Rams are going to win. The Rams have the emotional motivation to go to Philadelphia and shock the world and win. This city needs this team at this time. That is the whole premise. And then I go back and I watch the game. And offensively, I've already given it to you. Offensive line, got worked. Stafford got sacked a bunch of times. Ball was on the ground 3 times. 1 time it was lost. Missed a field goal. Tyler Higbee wasn't in that game, so that helps the Rams. But offensively, against Philadelphia's defense, Rams got worked. On the other side, now this is the Philadelphia offense against the Rams defense. Saquon Barkley had 2 runs in this game. I had to go back and look at the game, but before I did, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, wow, he had 255 yards rushing in that game. And I remember saying, Greg, I don't remember 255 yards in that game. Well, we watched the game, and the first play of the second half was like a 70-yard run.
Out loose, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then later in the second half, there was like a 60-something yard run. So he had like 130 yards on 2 carries. The numbers that game, 26 carries, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 10 yards per carry.
And it's not like he's slowing down either. He's still putting up yards every single time he plays. He didn't play in that last game, but he put up, I think, around 100 or maybe over 100 against the Packers. Yeah. He's continuously getting open and continuing finding space. And he's also the passing game too. He had another long touchdown in that game when it was off of a screen.
So here's the issue. So again, I'm convincing myself that emotionally the Rams are going to win this game, but I go back and I watch the game. Saquon Barkley has 255 yards rushing. Not to mention, he also had 4 receptions for 47 yards in the game. Okay? When you looked at Jalen Hurts in the game, because again, I had to go back and watch it. I didn't remember what happened. Jalen Hurts in the game was sacked 1 time. So here are the Rams coming off of a 9-sack performance against Sam Darnold, who just held the ball. Jalen Hurts, 1 sack, 12 yards. And when he feels pressure, he rolls. And when he rolls, he either throws on the move accurately or he decides to keep the ball and he smartly goes out of bounds. Jalen Hurts will not be sacked 9 times. He probably won't be sacked 3 times. And that is going to be a big difference in this game. So as much as I'm like, they're going to win, they're going to do it, the emotion's on their side, once I watched the Eagles and the Rams play earlier from week 12, I was like, oh, they're dead. They're toast.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's just a fully loaded team the Eagles have this year. And honestly, if they don't win it, if they don't win it all, then it's
win it all.
Win it all. Yeah,
okay,
I'm saying
so he's going as far as to say they're going to not only beat the Rams, they're going to beat the Lions.
I think they have a strong chance of beating the Lions.
They're going to beat the Chiefs.
That's the one that worries me.
Well, they were close a couple years ago in the Super Bowl.
That's the one that worries me. That's the only one. Cause I feel like the Chiefs, they like we've seen how they've done all year. They find a way to still win it.
Yeah, they win every close game. They find a way to still win every close game. Whether it's off a doink or a blocked kick.
But more problems for the Rams. Again, if you are like me and you have somehow already convinced yourself the Rams are going to win and you have not done what we did, which is go back and watch Week 12, here's another thing. While A.J. Brown from the Eagles had 101 yards on 6 catches, okay? Devonta Smith, who's like their 1A.
1A, number 2 guy, yeah.
He didn't play.
Didn't play.
So here they had this incredibly dominant offensive performance, both in the run game and the pass game, and their number 1A, call him number 2 receiver, brother wasn't even playing.
Yeah, he's the speed guy, right?
Speed guy.
He's
the
speed guy
does
down
more,
the field.
Does more. He's the one that gets open a little bit more as far as route running. Has great routes and kind of gets in the middle of the field. A.J. Brown's more of a deep threat receiver. They like to give it to him in a deep passing game. So we'll see how. That's a perfect combination. You got a guy who's a deep threat, and you got to worry about a guy who's a good route runner and creates leads and gets others open as well.
The thing for me was that when we were watching that, I was trying to watch. This is a condensed version, obviously, but I was watching.
I tried to make it sound like we literally watched the entire game.
No, it was condensed by like a minute, so it wasn't that much shorter. But you look and you saw Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, who have been fantastic this year. They could not get past that offensive line, and if they're not going to be able to cause havoc in the backfield against Jalen Hurts, that's going to cause massive problems. If Jalen Hurts has the amount of time that he had in this game on Sunday, he's going to pick apart that Rams defense.
Okay, so here's the thing: in the final analysis, by the way, there's been a lot of analysis here so far today. Okay, but in the final analysis, just one more time. The Rams lost to the Eagles 37-20. It was week 12. Oh, by the way, it was 37-14, and then Cooper Kupp scored a late kind of garbage touchdown in a game where Cooper Kupp actually had like 8 or 9 receptions, 8 receptions, 60 yards. Cooper Kupp has not been targeted. He had targeted, I think, 1 time in the game this past weekend on Monday.
It was 1 pass to him, 1 target. He did catch it, and it was a very nice catch, but that was all he had for the entire game.
Yeah, and it feels like the last month of the season, Cooper Kupp has not been really impactful. So here it goes. The Rams' offensive line got worked. Kyron Williams fumbled twice. Matthew Stafford was sacked 5 times. He fumbled. Cooper Kupp, 6 catches, 80 yards, touchdown in garbage time. On the other side, Saquon Barkley, 255 yards rushing, 2 incredibly back-breaking long runs in the game. Jalen Hurts only sacked once against a defense that just sacked Sam Darnold 9 times. Devonta Smith, their number 2 wide receiver, didn't play. Their number 1, A.J. Brown, had over 100 yards receiving. Every single thing went wrong for the Rams.
They're going to need everything to go absolutely the
right.
opposite
Yeah,
way.
everything right.
Like everything. There's not just one thing that needs to go right on this game. You need to get every single portion of it right. Can't fumble. Can't turn the ball over.
Can't
have
miss
to play
field
great
goals.
Can't miss field goals. Have to find other receivers besides Puka Nacua. Kyron Williams cannot fumble the ball when he's having that kind of issue. Everything has to go right for the Rams. And I feel like the Eagles can make some mistakes and still come out on top.
See, the thing is, Eagles did against the Packers game. They had takeaways. I mean, they got an interception. They got a couple interceptions that they got. But the thing about that game against the Packers is that they did not capitalize when they did get the takeovers. Meaning that Thayer Slay got the big interception. The Eagles didn't capitalize and score a touchdown or even get a field goal. So we're punting the ball back to the Packers, and that's why the game was so much closer than it was, because the Eagles were able to execute on the other end of the field as far as offense. So that's the only biggest concern I have, is that how McVay is, and I know how McVay is. He's a mastermind. He's going to come in. He's going to get a different scouting report than it was Week 12. We already know what the expectation is, especially how the city of L.A. is, knowing that they have that on their back. They're going to come in with a lot more energy and effort in that game. So that's the only thing I am concerned, is just how the Eagles are going to adjust and make adjustments, because Sirianni's not a guy in that Kellen Moore system right now either. They don't really make that much adjustments.
No.
That's the one portion that I feel like the Rams have the edge.
Clear advantage.
Yes, McVay versus Sirianni is very much a McVay-driven.
Right, advantage Rams. So here goes. Rams lost to the Eagles Week 12, 37-20. Everything went wrong for the Rams. Now the Rams have to go to Philadelphia. They got to travel cross country. They got to play in the Eastern time zone.
In the cold.
The weather report is that it's going to be cold, and they're already calling for snow in Philadelphia on Sunday. So everything went wrong for the Rams in perfect weather on a turf field. No impact whatsoever. Rain, snow, wind, nothing. The only reason the Rams got destroyed, they got motorboated by the Eagles, is because... Why are you looking at me like that?
I just like when you say motorboated.
I mean, that's what it's called. When one team beats up on another team, that's what it's known as motorboating.
Not so much, but I keep going. I see
that's
where
what
you're
they
going.
call
You're flowing.
it.
You're
That's
moving.
what they
Let's
call
go.
it, I think. Anyway, everything went wrong for the Rams. And now they got to go cross country, as I'm documenting, play Eastern time zone, cold weather, snow, hostile fans. Everything went wrong for the Rams, and now they got to go into that. Guess what?
What's going on?
You got it.
Oh,
yeah, you got it. Rams still gonna win.
Yeah,
Rams.
That was a 22-minute preamble for him to just say,
I was so ready.
Set it
I
up.
was so ready for him to turn on the Eagles.
Set it up.
Oh, man.
The Rams are still gonna win because this city needs this team at this time to pull off this upset and to help rebuild the heart and soul of this great city when so many people are out there struggling and hurting. This city needs it now, and the Rams are going to be the team to deliver on Sunday.
I like that.
I love the passion. I love the energy. I love what you're saying. 35-20. Eagles.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Come on, man.
They're just too good. They're
Come on.
so much better.
That's right.
They're just
That's
going
right.
to destroy the defense. The offense, I don't think I'm giving them 20 points. I don't think they've actually put up 20 points in a game besides this last game in weeks. 5 weeks. It's bad. Since the Buffalo game, they haven't scored.
Yeah.
They could not score. And that was the defensive touchdown that really got them over that 20 point too. So this Rams team does just
funny
not
because
have it.
The last meeting, Cap was like, I'm not sure if the Eagles are going to come in here and beat the Rams. I just don't see it. I said, Cap, I'm telling you, this is a different Eagles team, man. And I was trying to explain to you because
scam likely.
He was trying to hit. Greg was hitting me up on Twitter and talking about scam likely and all. And I was like,
that
I
proved
get it.
me wrong.
Especially last year, I get the whole thing that went down. But I'm telling you, this is a different Eagles team. They have a different mentality and they're here to win.
How's Jalen Hurts' head?
Oh, he's good.
He's good?
He's good.
He's
good. He's all right.
He was having a little bit of issues.
He's all right.
All right, let's go live to Crypto.com Arena. Literally right across the street from our broadcast center here at LA Live. And Beto Duran is inside Crypto.com getting ready for tonight's Lakers pregame show. Beto, what's going on inside there right now at 5:24?
That was a beautiful 24-minute breakdown of the Eagles, man. I felt like I was at WIP right now with all the cheesesteaks and everything else. You know, where's Spike Eskin or what is it, Mike Missinelli? Let's go, Cappy. Cappy, when you're in football mode, there's nobody better, man. You are so locked in because you can spin around so many different things to make you feel like you're going to actually believe that right there. This is great. So all I got away from that was the Rams are hosting the NFC Championship.
Right.
That's all I got.
That's right. The Commanders are going to pull the upset of the Lions.
Why not?
And the Rams are going to pull the upset of the Eagles. And
Why not?
The Rams are going to host the NFC Championship game at SoFi Stadium. And by the way, here's one other side note. L.A. generally around the country is hated because fans in other markets are like, they got all the money, they got all the stars.
That's just the Dodgers.
Okay? But let me tell you something.
It's true.
Instead of the beat LA chant, I'm telling you right now, America is going to love the Rams because America is going to look at LA with a whole different sort of empathetic tone. Yep. And right, Beto, I mean, I think America's going to be rooting for the Rams.
Nobody hates the Rams. You can't hate that team, right? Because America is kind of like whatever about the Rams, right? They're not a team that's building legacies and dynasties or anything like that. Like they won the Super Bowl, they're good, but they're not hated, you know. But let's rally around the Rams. Why not? That means Cappy will be at Radio Row in New Orleans.
Oh, see, that's a reason not to have all this happen.
I already made my plans. I already made my trip. I booked my flights.
Mason has a hotel already across the street from the Superdome.
Yeah.
Like, it's the two of you.
I booked my flights, man.
Come on, Bergie, be the good boss. Don't hate on that. Let the kids
It's ridiculous.
dream.
What, you want to hear something from Radio Row? You specifically, Beto Duran, wants to hear
man.
Radio
Let
Row.
me tell you about the way you can shave your head. There's a new
right. Here's Tony Gonzalez.
Thanks, Eli Manning.
Here's Tony Gonzalez going to sit down and talk to us about Haas avocados and how many avocados will be eaten during Super Bowl
You're
Sunday.
talking about whatever. They're like, hey, tell me about Haas avocados.
Yeah, right.
Come on, we are there, Cappy. Let's go.
Yeah,
I've already Mexico.
I've already made my plans for the Super Bowl this year, mostly because the Super Bowl in New Orleans is great. Well,
fun.
And my daughter goes to school at Tulane, so I'm like, you know what? I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm going to see my daughter, and I'm going to go broadcast from the Super Bowl. But in terms of Radio Row and sitting down with like all these guys who are just pitching stuff, so that you can ask them questions only to give them time to promote their stuff, I'm out on that.
Cappy, you know what you're going to become?
Tell me.
You know what you have become?
Tell me.
When you were the young whippersnapper radio broadcaster going, man, look at that old guy over there. I don't ever want to become that. You're that guy now.
I am that guy.
You're the corner.
I am that guy.
Oh, man, the best 15 minutes of radio right there. Cappy. You're going to give it to me.
Hey, Beto, I want to just remind everybody one more time. Hey, if you are able, if you are moved, and you want to do anything you can do to help, please help the people that have been affected by the wildfires. Donate at the Red Cross, redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and to help people recover. I told the story earlier today. Lazy Dog down in LA Live was feeding all these firefighters for free. And the wait staff was telling me this is our way of helping them go help the people just by feeding them and showing them a decent time for a little bit. So, again, please, if you can help, please do. It's redcross.org/ESPN. Beto, I'm coming over to see you. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Oh, please do. Please do, Cappy. And by the way, they're doing a donation drive. So if you're coming to the game at the entrances, they will be taking donations. You know, like the non-perishable goods, the beanie, like all that good stuff that you can donate. They'll be taking it at the doors.
All right, there you go. There's Beto Duran. We're all going over to the game. Game tonight at 7 and pregame at 5:30. Before we get out of here, fellas, just a reminder, Real Father's Rights. If you are involved in a divorce, if you are prepping to get divorced, because you already know in your mind that's what you're planning on doing, if you are already divorced and you're still dealing with troubles, like I have talked to you about the ones that I've had, I'm telling you right now, you got to have the right legal team behind you, somebody that really understands the family court system and also understands that more often than not, the woman gets the favor in family court. That is not a strong opinion. That is not anti-lady. That is just my own personal experience, and it's what happens oftentimes. So you got to get your justice. You got to get your happiness, and Real Father's Rights can help you. 323-970-1611, 323-970-1611, or realfathersrights.com/710. Let's get real with Mark Real and Real Father's Rights. Bergie, thank you. DeAndre, great to be with you. BC, awesome, my brother. Michael Funchess in the house. Parker with the cheesesteaks. Let's get ready for Lakers basketball. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.
Hey, guys, it's Sedano at Los Angeles International Airport. Changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers.